Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the land of dreams and nightmares. I am your Dungeon Master, Esper. Tonight we have 4 out of the 5 gents with us. Carderock is going to be doing some Carderock things this session. Adams unfortunately couldn't make it. But if there ever was a session for someone to not be here, I suppose this is it because the fight has ended and there are some important things that Card will be doing. We'll say behind the scenes. Let's introduce everybody and we'll jump in. So we'll just do alphabetical as usual.
Oh, I guess that makes me first since Adam's not here. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not muted. I was making sure I wasn't muted. Hey, guys. My name is Dennis. And as always, I'm playing Lykar Talvantis, the Storm Sorcerer.
Hello, I'm Robin, or Nick. I'm playing Robin, the Arcane Trickster Rogue.
I am Drake Down. I am playing Vince, the Shadowmonk Rogue.
And I'm Warsor, and I'm playing Captain Noxiqual, the human Hexblade Warlock, level 11.
So after the situation, we'll say, in the Dusk Isle, the state that you left it in, you went sailing back towards the mainland, northbound, and you were ambushed by 2 pirate ships, the Bloody Mariner and the Jolly Beast. These were the ships, the captains and their parties and their crews, who were some of the main power sources in Dusk Isle, and they were very, very displeased with the Stormbringers and what you all did there. It was a 2-session-long encounter, a massive sea battle, pretty intense, very dangerous, and you all managed to achieve victory. So your ship suffered some damage in the fight, though I don't believe any of your crew actually were injured.
We managed to kind of keep the fire focused on us rather than our crew.
That's true. You did. The enemy crew suffered tremendous losses, and their ships took on some damage as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe all 3 of the ships are currently dead in the water.
The helms were destroyed on each.
Helms were destroyed. The siege weapons took some damage, but were not destroyed. The hulls took some damage, but again, nothing major. So we're going to have many things to do and talk about in roleplay and story, and there's going to be a lot happening. And a lot of it's just going to be up to you all what you decide to do. But as it stands, the battle has ended. You all are victorious. There are many slain foes around you. The Jolly Beast has like frozen dead corpses of the crew members in the midst of taking strides or swings. The 2 enemy parties were almost all completely killed. There are just a couple enemies left, though, that are not dead. There's one he's still conscious. He's close to Carderock and Robin. I think he said his name is Luke. But all the crew calls him Hellboy because he is known for stirring up hell. He's just a basic crewman. He just happened to be one that survived on that ship. Those of the enemy NPCs, the named party member NPCs.
I recall there were 4 living or so.
Well, there are 2 that you see that they're still breathing despite being wounded. There is Jaxalon. He was a member of the Bloody Mariner. He's a human. He is a mage of some sort. He's sort of a conjurer. And there was Morgothian. He is a drow, some sort of archer or ranger. There's 2 other people that might actually not be dead. I never rolled out the last couple death saving throws on them, so I'm going to roll that out now just so we can see. There is Ethan, the archer. He is stable. Okay. And this is on the Jolly Beast, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan, he's a human. He's a marksman, a bowman. And then there's the swashbuckler, Mick Godkin. a dashing fellow, though he met his demise. He is dead. So there are four named NPCs. One's a basic crewman, and he's conscious.
Okay.
So you all are assessing the situation. You're probably talking to each other. I imagine Captain Noxiqual is saying some things, and in the midst of all this, an unexpected occurrence happens. A wavering sensation in the air, and you've seen this sort of effect before when people have teleported or used Dimension Door and these sorts of things.
How long has it been since the fight? Like, has a short rest happened? What's going on here?
A few minutes have passed.
Few minutes.
Just a few minutes, enough to where you all have gotten yourselves together.
Now, when you say a few minutes have passed, you mean a few minutes have passed since Lykar finished his action?
Yes.
I give Lykar the stare when this thing starts happening. Like, what are you doing, Lykar?
The party is together. We'll say you're on board your ship. You're on the Storm's Eye.
We have brought the ships together just for sake of keeping everything.
The ships have been brought together, and just appearing before you is a figure that you've never seen before.
I draw my sword and point it at him. Who the hell are you?
So looking around, I'm in a bit of a stammer. You see a figure of a tall, kind of lean figure wearing a combat tunic and regal garb. He has alabaster skin, dark onyx hair, with eyes dark as a black hole that emanates yet pulls in the light. His mask is stoic, as if waiting to smile or frown at any given moment. In the air floats a shield, it looks to be a scale of a dragon. It's mithril, shiny, floating amongst. And the character looks as if he's in a resolved calm, staring off into what seems to be nothing.
So out of the thin air appears this silvery mithril masked person. What do you guys do?
Noxiqual is not expecting or looking for a fight right now. He's still tapped from the battle.
Lykar is exhausted.
Yeah, we're all not in a place to fight anyone that can cast teleportation.
Yeah, I'm just like looking up and like a little scared, looking at Noxiqual. It's like, should we attack him?
I'll just stand up
Who
and
are
say,
you?
who might you
How did
be?
get here?
So I interject and I say, what lands are these and who is in control?
You do not know where you are?
I do not. I came from battle.
You have entered the realm of Dreckengrim, the domain of what some call the Mer Queen, and the land of dreams and nightmares.
My lord has made contact. I'm not sure if he's had response. Are you friend or foe of the Mer Queen?
We do not align ourselves with her.
I would say I am simply unaligned indeed.
Well, we are here now, and I must inform you that we have entered a new epoch within Ikoria. What sees you in these lands? What are your goals?
Our goals. Who are you to ask us this, if I may ask, before we get into such matters?
Who am I? It is relatively new. I understand our name might not have come to these lands yet, but I am Angie Hoshi, Exarch of Mitrasat's Seal, Dominator, giver of grace and justice to these lands, expeller of corruption. What beseeches you to even question such things?
The fact that I've never heard of you.
You have a very long name.
Did Drake know who this guy is?
I was about to say Drake's from outside of Dreckengrim.
Drake, you were on one of the outlying islands of Bazagon. but you knew that you were leaving at a time when there was great tension. You've been gone from Bazagon for quite some time, so you're not up to date on what's been happening there.
Okay.
However, your whole party was somewhat updated recently by the Silver Citadel.
I thought so too. I
Yes.
wasn't sure. I know. I've heard the name Mitra.
You all know the name Mitra because Mitra is a god. Mitra is a goddess, actually, of life and death. Woman-headed giant worm thing.
Well,
However, maybe a couple of weeks ago, not even a couple of weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago, Dorian Keldon, Archmage of Divination from the Silver Citadel, made contact with Lykar. He even teleported onto your ship for a time.
mm-hmm.
And he spoke that war had broken out across Ikoria. Terrible war, and massive forces were clashing, and that Mitra had transformed, had ascended, and actually merged with some other forces, and a dragon god was reborn out of this called Mitra Seal. Some still just refer to him as Mitra. So apparently there is a high-tiered, fully powered god manifested in Ikoria, a dragon god. And Dorian said that the dragon god attempted to contact the Mer Queen magically, and the Mer Queen's slumber, there was some interference or a disruptive effect, and he worried that she was going to be broken out of the slumber spell from this. She didn't awaken, and the Silver Citadel Archmage said that there was no known exchange or dialogue between the Mer Queen and the dragon god. But this creature, there's this character, this figure who has appeared out of thin air, claims to be the exarch of this dragon god.
I've heard some of this Mitra Seal.
Mitra Seal.
Seal.
Yeah, the mithril dragon.
Yes, her name has reached these lands, even though we are separated from the rest of Ikoria by the Mer Queen's mists. I would say thank you, as you have opened up some opportunities, or she has opened up some opportunities to me recently that has led to great benefit for me and my crew. My name is Captain Noxiqual. I'm a follower of the Masked One, though gods do not tread these lands. All Queen slumbers here.
I do indeed chuckle at such a thing. Mitra Seal has no bounds. If he wills it, he will be here if he needs to. But I will say, I hear these lands are indeed contested. We have met with the mages of the Silver Citadel. Perhaps they may be the power of these lands. But as of now, we know that the Mer Queen is in control. Obviously, these mists encapsulate into this prison you have here. But the world has been in corruption for too long. We have entered a new era, an era of justice, of reform, of peace. But obviously, with peace, there must be force to ensure such a thing.
Strength is generally required to enforce any such laws that you might wish to impose. So what exactly are you proposing here?
Oh, it's simply a matter of fielding loyalty to the ruler of all.
Well, Drekken Grim, I would say, does not have a ruler currently. Mer Queen slumbers, the Silver Citadel does not rule the men here. There is no king. We are just free people.
Free is certainly relative to who you encounter. There's going to be somebody more powerful around the bend. We have contact with all the other continents. Magdalene, Perna, Jaya. We will soon create a new resolve for all these people. We know that the great wars have desolated everything, but with sharp minds and powerful people behind us, certainly order will be found even here.
It's interesting that you appeared on my ship unknowing of your destination. I would say that I am not uninterested in these matters, and I have many powerful friends who might be willing to hear your words were I to deliver it to their ears.
It is odd.
I didn't know that we were friends.
I look over at Robin, who is probably standing off to the side, and obviously not the captain. Just a small look, kind of a huh. And I look back at Noxiqual here. It is true that I did not know where I am, but I know that once I am here, your words may spread. And it is here that I am to spread the word of Mitrasat's seal. And you have an opportunity to place yourself in very important roles. Angie reaches into his pocket and pulls out a sending stone and throws it to Noxiqual.
Catch it.
At this time, the portal reappears in the air behind Angie, and you catch a hazy glimpse of something beyond this portal. There's a terrible battle between many gray-skinned, ugly, grotesque, frog-like humanoids with great swords, casting fireballs and other powerful magics, and these knights, these undead knights with glowing eyes. And there's this horrible battle waging, and you see one of the knights get attacked by a half-orc who's wielding this like mithril dual crescent blade thing. And when that happens, Angie gets like pulled back through the portal and is gone.
Oh, we didn't even get to say goodbye.
That was an interesting exit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like look at the captain and say, that was some kind of religious fanatic or something? We're not listening to this man, are we? I think we should just throw away that sending stone. We don't need it.
Captain Noxiqual looks down at the sending stone in his hand. Just kind of looks back up at where the portal was. And he slowly closes his hand around the sending stone.
This changes things a bit.
It certainly seems to.
We will have to discuss when we get back to land.
What is there to discuss? There was a fanatic religious nut. He just came into.
We have to get done.
Yeah, we should have threw you in the portal with him.
No, please don't do that. I'm not a big fan of war. I prefer to scavenge after the wars and take what I can.
That was very interesting.
If y'all would so like, you can make Arcana checks to identify what in the heck just happened in that.
She's not bad, but I don't.
I got a 19.
19 is good enough.
13. That -1 in intelligence.
20.
I got a
20 is good. Okay. Nox and Lykar, you look at each other, you discuss a bit, and you're both certain that this person who just appeared was subjected to a plane shift spell. And so he was in some other plane and got thrown into a random place in the mortal world. Random as things can get in a magical world of wonder.
I feel like you can name some sort of like place like the land of Dreckengrim, and it puts you somewhere there. Like City of Brass, if you're saying.
So there's a couple ways you can use plane shift, and it seems that the one that he was subjected by an enemy's plane shift to expel him away.
Right,
So some other plane of existence when this happened to him, and then the spellcaster was struck, lost his concentration, and Angie was sucked back to where he was before.
So he was in the middle of a battle and had time to time
is a strange thing between realities and within the warping effects, and it's just cooler that way to have him there for more than literally 6 seconds.
I just find that was really amusing that he took the time in between the fight to be like, worship Mitra.
Angie's an interesting soul.
That's true. Well, I enjoyed that immensely.
Yeah, it was good to meet your friend. I remember him from the videos.
Yep.
I was very surprised. I did not know this was going to happen.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
And we didn't even get to say goodbye to him.
All right, we can.
My eyes, like when someone else came on, I was just like, "Is that Adam?" Wait, that's not Adam.
I know. It's like,
I've got a sending stone. Now I actually have a connection to the other campaign, Esper. I can call your other campaign right now.
Yeah.
You introduce continuity errors.
I'm gonna like walk over to the captain and be like, so Captain, I know that this weird thing happened, and personally I don't really care much for religious things unless I'm getting paid to care about those religious things. Can we
Don't worry about
it. Can I start messing around with these dead people and get some items? I feel like they probably have some gold on them, right?
That is going to be one of our priorities to collect all the items so that we can take an accounting of what loot is on each ship. But first, I must deal with the prisoners. And as I intended to do last time, but clearly didn't have time, I want to gather the prisoners, except for Hellboy. I'm going to leave him. He seems cool because he surrendered. Everyone else didn't surrender. They fought. So they get what they got coming to them. Take them down to one of the captain's cabins. My own, if necessary. Actually, my own would be preferable.
Mm-hmm. You take the 3 unconscious foes into your own private quarters.
Yep. And I tell everyone, continue to repair the ship, collect the loot, give a list of what we've found, and repair all the ships so that we can make a way for what is the name of the town?
Grenadoa?
Grenadoa.
Grenadoa.
Voice in my head.
All right. You give your command. Kobe goes out and starts whipping guys into shape, and they will commence with repairs and with collecting of noteworthy, valuable baubles and such. You have 3.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You have 3 unconscious people in your cabin. They're all 3 wounded. One is a human wearing a mage's robe. Another one is a drow who's wearing some light armor. And the last one is a human wearing some light armor.
I thought... Wait. I thought that Luke
What about
was...
the tentacle guy?
We killed him. He jumped into the ocean and...
I had only knocked him unconscious.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess we have him, too.
Vargal, priest of
Because
Dagon.
Noxiqual told Drake not to kill him.
Yeah.
Even though I wanted
You
to
hauled,
do
you
that,
hauled
just
him
like
out of the hauled him out of the sea.
Yeah.
All right, add him to the pile.
Well, there are 4 persons in your private quarters.
One last thing I just want to mention about the crew. I was impressed with their not dying. And it's hard for like low-level, just ordinary people to be caught up in these sort of epic battles with the rest of us. So I did want to mention to tell Kobe that the men are going to receive bonuses when we set down to Grenadoa, and I'll see to that.
You'll all be rewarded handsomely for your bravery and for not dying.
I let him phrase it how he likes. I figure he's got the better, rapport with the people.
What are you doing with these 4 captives?
All right, back to my cabin. Well, I would like to summon up a long-coming meeting with the masked one here in my cabin. So I'd like to call him up, and I feel like there's some sacrifices to be made for him.
Okay.
Are you sacrificing these 4 people?
No, you're not there.
It's only yourself and the 4.
Yes.
Okay. So there's the human mage, the human archer, the drow ranger, and the tentacle bearded, pale skinned man. Is he a human? Maybe he used to be a human. He's something. The priest of Dagon.
Yeah, Dagon's guy is going to go first.
Mm-hmm. You call out to the masked one, and you feel a strong response in this moment. He is nearby. Shadows contort and expand, and emerging from the darker corner of your cabin is a mask like one of onyx, and a devilish grinning face. Well, what have we here? A gift for me?
Yes, I have brought sacrifices for this most auspicious occasion that I call you, Masked One. I present,
Very good. I
yes,
propose an exchange.
exchange. What did you have in mind?
Well, I will let you offer your part first. Don't let me interrupt that.
Very well. I will go ahead and I will grab the unconscious tentacled head of Vargal, I guess.
Yep.
And I take the blade with the eye in it, with Sombras. I put it to his throat as I lift up his head. I say, "For the Masked One," and I, yank the blade violently across his jugular. Hopefully, he wakes up just enough to lose all his blood and die.
There is a terrible screeching noise of his jugular and his windpipe splitting open. Blood and ink spill out of his body, and he goes limp.
Ink.
And that is for the insult that Dagon gave to me and you when he attacked just a week ago.
Oh, Dagon. Things are not turning out so well for you, are they?
No, indeed. And I will go through the rest of them one by one. I'll need to play it out for each one, but I kind of say this is a member of the Bloody Mariner or the such and such. I just give a quick description and then I say in the name of the Masked One as I slit their throats.
Blood floods the floor about you. And the shadows deepen and grow. And whatever light source you're using, maybe a lamp or candles or such.
I don't use a light source. I can see in the dark perfectly.
So
one candle. I do have one candle.
So okay. So you have one candle. The candle flame does leaps and sputters and crackles and turns a bluish color, not a bright blue color. This beg your pardon for the reference, but think of like a black light.
I understand.
Yeah, some sort of unlight emits from the candle. And the Masked One says, "You have proven yourself, Noxiqual, and I am ready to entrust to you some very important information." And he tells you a tale. He tells you a tale about himself. So you can consider this secret lore that you've garnered enough favor that he is going to bestow it upon you. And as he narrates this, it also animates in the shadows. So you see shadow puppets cast against the wall that accompany everything that he says. "I have a name. I am Akoshan. I was once known as Akoshan the Shadow Knight." And you see literally a shadow on the wall of this knight in armor, and you can see the outline, the silhouette of the helmet, identical to the helmet that you are wearing. And you see as well a sword sheathed at his side, identical to Sombras. "My domain was in the Shadowfell, and I was a rival of the Raven Queen." And you see the silhouette of this, raven, winged goddess. It's all shadow, but this, this proud figure, almost an angel-like thing, a dark angel. "I was renowned for a time, one of the greatest warriors and greatest artificers ever known in the Shadowfell. The Raven Queen and I both were beings of order there, but we had great philosophical differences. She believed not in interfering directly with the lives of mortals. She also consorted with Sortiza the Weaver, doling out strands of destiny and such. I preferred a much more active role. What can mere mortals do, after all? I did as I deemed necessary. I would quest. I would interact with whomever I pleased. I would slay whoever I deemed necessary to be slain. I even treated from time to time with other more diabolic entities that some sensitive companies find distasteful. And you see a shadow of devils. One actually looks like Abagor, like a barbed devil, and you see some other larger devils that look like something beyond standard, mid-ranked devils that you would typically think of. Oh yes, I treated with devils from time to time. There's benefit. They have strength. There is benefit in their lawful nature. As long as you are very careful and cautious, the devil is in the details after all. It can be done. During the age of cataclysms, the prior era, the gods and other powerful entities sought about their wars, slaying each other. Mitra the Devourer was killed in Bazagon. The Raven Queen claimed much of Mitra's death power. From this, she grew, and she grew. And I take no pride in saying that. She defeated me once and for all. Or so she thought. She erased the name Akoshan from memory, from page, from history. But there was one that was loyal to me. My greatest creation. Shadow Steel. And you see a shadow of a golem project in shadow play on the wall. Shadow Steel, my greatest work, my most loyal subject. To him, my arms and armor were bound, and he called the equipment to himself. And before the Raven Queen could descend upon the Soul Forge and destroy my artifacts in my own lair, Shadow Steel dispersed them in the one land hidden from the eyes and the powers of the gods, Drekengrim. Sadly, he did fall. And you see what looks like, angels and warriors and such descending upon the golem and destroying it.
Poor golem.
I slunk and stumbled through the blind blackness for oh so long. At last I heard a voice, a tormented plea. I followed it through the sightless ether. Then I came upon you, Noxiqual, and you gave me an eye. You gave me sight again. In exchange, I gave you a measure of singular power and an opportunity to arise from the hopeless circumstances you were in at that time.
Noxiqual thinks back, and it all these pieces are coming together for him. He had pieces, but the story is like solidifying his whole life, leading up to this very moment for him. And I think he's actually kind of quiet during this whole thing. He's just taking it all in. I see.
The world is changing. The age of cataclysms, the age of the great wars have ended. They have long ended. The age of Requiem has dawned. Mitra Satsil has reincarnated. The creator of dragonkind. The Emperor Dragon. The mithril god. He summoned the Raven Queen to himself recently. I suppose he summoned everyone to himself recently.
Oh, really?
She swore her fealty, as has nearly the entire world at this point. Who is to deny a god? His
What
power
are your
was...
feelings on this god?
Well, I don't know that he is quite aware of my existence as of yet, and I am not quite sure of the Raven Queen's knowledge of my current state, though you, I believe, have ruffled some feathers, so to say. But as Mitra is the god of life and death, and the Raven Queen took the death domain, you can imagine Mitra had some tense words with her. As far as I can piece out of it, I believe he allowed the Raven Queen to keep a secondary placehold, a secondary tier of the death domain. Perhaps she has become another exarch of his, an exarch of death. And I know she has taken a powerful warlock under her patronage, the one known as Raven Eye.
Still, that must be quite interesting an opportunity for yourself, since she has been demoted, as it were.
Yes, she diminishes some. And, well, we are on the brink of something truly great. You have collected all but 2 of the pieces. Only the boots of shadow walking and Noctis remains, though Noctis is safeguarded at the temple at the end of the world.
Victorial. That
Yes.
was the last piece that I wanted to confirm that didn't have an explanation yet. So he has the last soul-forged piece of your armor.
He has the cuirass.
Indeed. Do you have a sense of where the other pieces, the boots?
Perhaps. Speak with Abagor. He has a lead.
Excellent. That was in my intentions anyway, in any case.
Oh, and one last thing. There is one force in this world that still stands against the dragon god. I don't know how much I would advise you to gamble on it, but all is not said and done quite yet. And you see in the shadow a picture of a great devil man with wings like giant bat wings and a snake-like tail with a scorpion stinger on it. And he holds in hand a horn, like a great blowing horn.
Who is this?
Garyon.
Garyon. I've heard that name. Is he a devil or a demon?
He is an archdevil.
Archdevil, yes.
He currently resides in Jaya. He has claimed Western Jaya and cast it into a cold land. He reigns from his citadel of bitter steel, which he was able to bring into the mortal plane some time ago. His force is lost in Bazagon, but he was not slain.
There was a man who appeared before us, an Angie, I believe he said.
A masked one as well.
No, he claimed to be the exarch of Mitra.
He is masked. He wears a mask.
Oh, masked. Yes, a
Yeah.
masked one. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So it is true. The exarch of the Silver Flame.
This happened not long ago before I contacted you.
I have spoken with him and his party before.
Oh, well then you know of whom I'm speaking.
Yes.
Indeed.
He is more than meets the eye.
Well, I would assume so, since he ended up on my ship from another plane where it seemed like there were devils and death knights fighting some great battle in the background.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
Yes.
But I wouldn't be surprised, as he and his current party and his former party were bravos, rather not too dissimilar from your own party.
Well, greatness shares certain roots, I suppose.
Yes, well, there are commonalities in these adventures. But I spoke with him more than once. I spoke with him at the Shadow Temple in Jaya before it fell under Garyon's sway. I made him an offer. He politely refused. So be it.
Well.
He seems to prefer the balance of light and shadow. But when I first spoke with him, he was a half-elf. He is not that anymore. He has been transformed and remade.
Interesting. I feel that our paths will intersect again. He gave me the sending stone to communicate whether we would join the land of Dreckengrim. Whoever rules here would join him and Mitra when the time came.
That would be a precarious truce.
I concur. I was not keen on giving an answer, as he could easily have destroyed my ship. I would guess, based on what I've seen and from his ability.
Yes. Well, you've done much for me. Perhaps there is one additional detail that you might need and want to know.
Please.
There is reason for my rivalry with the Raven Queen, beyond mere power struggles.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lover once, a paramour. I don't know if I would call him her husband. Some would. An archfey, the Prince of Frost. Yes, well, he was a thorn in my side, and she was a dagger in my ass. And in one of my dealings with Garyon, I was able to trap him, and the Prince of Frost was delivered unto Garyon.
Oh, nice.
The Raven Queen did not take kindly to that.
I can imagine not. So, should Garyon be defeated, it sounds like he will be freed.
Well, Garyon utilized the Prince of Frost. He is not anymore. It was an important component, we shall say. Garyon himself had a terrible foe known as Levistus, who is another archdevil. Well, Garyon and Levistus, across aeons, have vied for power over Stygia, the frozen layer of the Nine Hells. In my delivering of the Prince of Frost, Garyon was able to complete one of his constructions and defeat Levistus, thus claiming Stygia. And in exchange, he gave me the dark crystal shard. You recovered it from the infernal shrine yourself in Devil's Den.
That explains much. Well, it sounds like if Mitra is successful, the Raven Queen may seek to come after us soon, but perhaps we can preemptively strike first. If I were able to get all the pieces of your soul-forged armor back. Would
that is the hope.
Would that reincorporate you?
Oh, I have some wonderful theories about that. It may be, or it may be that you will incorporate. Sometimes a single soul shares more than one body. You have seen this today in meeting with Angie.
Indeed.
He has a shard of Mitrasat seal. He is a fragment of the dragon god.
There are many powers here in Dreckengrim that we could ally with. Perhaps gain certain abilities by joining with them. I know there are titans, at least two, that went to these lands and sired children and had little lines and such. If you know of any more, or if I find any more, would you be interested in perhaps discussing some sort of alliance of Dreckengrim that we could form? Under the banner of the Masked One, of course.
Titans. Well, I feel that the time will indeed come where lines will have to be drawn in the sand.
Indeed.
If we are to resist, that is. And I am not yet convinced that is the proper course of action.
Well, I have a clear idea of who your enemies are at the very least. The Silver Citadel seems very mistrustful of you as well.
Oh, they are mistrustful of everyone.
Specifically, the divination wizard, archmage. He seemed to try to pin me down on whether I would still follow you or not once I knew your history.
I am no ally of the Mer Queen. Do not get me wrong, but
Mhm.
I hesitate. I have great misgivings about the Silver Citadel, and they are allied with Mitra Satsil, so we know what side of the line they are upon.
I have no love of the Mer Queen either. But yes, perhaps there is some wisdom in the enemies of my enemy. Perhaps a balance of power must be maintained.
I see that Ikoria as a whole is heading in that direction. The equation seems to be balancing out. Seems. For the strands of fate are often very, very shadowed.
Keep in touch with me and let me know if there is anything else that you wish of me. At this time, my intentions are to return to Grenadoa, get some equipment to bolster my ranks, and then head to the Devil's Den, where we may learn of where the next piece of your set of armor lies.
Very well. That is enough for now.
Indeed.
And Noxiqual,
Yes.
I will not threaten you, but bear in mind the great weight and responsibility of the knowledge you now possess.
This knowledge will stay between us for now. I see no need to share it. And so long as I can hold it against the Silver Citadel, I will not share it, or give it willingly, shall I say.
Outstanding. I place my trust in you and whatever decisions you make.
Until we meet again.
Until that time. And he diminishes back into the shadows, which return to their normal states, and Candle returns back to being just a candle. And you have a lot of blood on the floor.
I do, and some ink, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to collect and clean that some, and then I'll have the bodies disposed of. With the rest of the bodies, we collected them and stacked them, and I figure we're going to burn them when we get on land, because we're not just tossing them in the ocean like last time.
That may be a wiser choice. So let's pass things over. Who else has thoughts, actions, ideas, interests?
I can't believe that the captain won't trust his best man Robin with this information. I mean,
yeah, with how your loose lips will sink all our ships, I don't
loose
think
lips. I would never say anything out of turn. All right, I would like to just sort of investigate like the ships and try and see if there's any gold or items or anything of value or anything of relevance at all, like just in general.
Okay, totally. Well, that's definitely on the table, and we'll call that a long-term activity. Does anyone have any immediate, post-battle, post-Angie's appearance?
The captain that Drake killed, he's doing the last rites for him, saying a prayer over his body.
Oh, you are? Wait, you are doing that?
Yes, Drake will be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Robin.
The older captain, Arden Galen.
All right, Robin's gonna look over and be like, "What are you doing, Drake? Pray just. You don't need to pray for him. He attacked us, and now he's dead. So let it be. We'll burn him when we get on ground."
This one wishes to respect an honorable warrior.
Sorry, what?
This one shall respect an honorable warrior, even if the dumb bird does not wish to do so.
I'll sort of nod a little bit and just sort of leave you to do it. Even though Robin definitely sort of like sneers a bit because he doesn't think that we should be honoring someone who attacked us and tried to kill us. And things like that.
Yeah,
and
so
what are the words, or just a general idea if you don't have specific words?
Drake's going through pretty much a while he was never part of any of the monks that would bury a body, he's seen how it's done, so he's pretty much just keeping watch, keeping a blanket over the captain's body while saying a prayer to hopefully pass his soul into wherever his soul belongs.
Mm-hmm. Who do you pray to? Dionysus?
Dionysus, and he's hoping Dionysus will, even if Dionysus won't take the captain's soul, will at least send someone to help guide his soul to where it belongs.
So you are a religious-minded character. You walk a spiritual path. You care about these sorts of things. And in this moment, you are being reminded that in the end, you all are mortals, and you do die, and your soul goes somewhere. And there are some different places, some different afterlives that it can go to. And some of them are celestial, honored. Yeah. Some of them are maybe more neutral, and you could become just like a beast in a sort of astral wild plane, or maybe a warrior on an eternal field of battle. Some afterlives are terrible. And you caught a glimpse of that beneath that shrine to Orcus, a little glimpse into the nightmarish destinations that grim souls can end up in. So you care about this, and it sounds like even though this man was your enemy, you found some honor in him, and you don't think he is deserving of spawning in the abyss or becoming a slave in the 9 hells.
Yeah.
Very well. You say your prayer as you can to Dionysus. If you'd like to roll a wisdom check with religion, you're more than welcome to.
Awesome. And that is actually not a good roll. I probably should not have done that, but we'll do it anyways.
He's going to burn, Drake. He's going to burn because you failed your roll.
That is a 7.
Okay. All jokes aside, I don't think there's a chance that you accidentally pray to a devil or something.
No, it's more Drake's probably just messed up on the wording of what it was, of the actual prayer.
It could be that, or it could be that your wording is just fine, but for whatever reason in this moment, you just aren't reaching any of the gods presently. They are gods after all. They tend to be a little bit busy. So you say your prayer, you say your words, you give your honor to the captain, and do you do something with the body, or you just have it wrapped up in this funeral shroud?
Drake is going to stand watch over the body because he does not want anyone to disrespect the body, even though if he knows if Noxiqual comes and wants to do something, he most likely will stand aside. At the same time, he'll hold his ground on this one a bit.
Okay. Very well. And, at the very least, you at least have some inner calm, and you feel, okay, even though I'm walking the edge with some grim allies here and consorting with some pretty savage encounters, I'm still keeping my eye on the bigger picture. So you at least get a sense that you're not a lost, wayward soul.
Yeah.
What about Lykar? Do you have an immediate thing you do after the appearance of the Exarch or after the battle?
Well, that's a little bit to take in. What was the name? Angie?
Angie.
Yeah, Angie showed up. Lykar he's just going to try and rest a little bit and try and just take in everything that's happened. And he's kind of interested in that character and where he came from. And, especially with my indirect relationship with the Silver Citadel and stuff, he's got to ponder a little bit on that. So, other than that, I think Lykar is just going to rest.
Mm-hmm. So Angie indicated that the Silver Citadel has met with the Dragon God and sworn their fealty. He also indicated that or I'm sorry, this isn't him. This was the Silver Delve themselves. They also indicated that the Dragon God obviously hasn't come here, but even had some difficulty contacting the Mer Queen. Could he come here? Maybe. I mean, he is a full-powered, high-ranked god, like a greater god. Could he? Would he? Is it a priority of his? It seems like there's a lot of massive loose ends, such as a archdevil still on his plate. Is Dreckengrim a top concern of his? These are all questions that you might ponder. But it does seem, at the very, very least, you do know that the Silver Citadel has decided that not rebelling against a living god is a good idea.
Could I did have a question. I always forget these things, but so Varan is in Grenadoa, right?
She is, yes.
All right, cool. I would like to actually, if Lykar is finished doing his thing, could I actually use my sending stone? Because we're heading back to Grenadoa now, right? Like after we investigate and like get all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Can I use my sending stone to chat up with Fair Varan?
And what do you say to your lady back in the mainland?
Oh boy, so 25 words. Let me think here. All right. Oh man, 25 words. You don't think it's a lot until you start thinking of what you want to say. All right, I'll say a lot has happened. I will be back in Grenadoa in about how long would it be? Would it take for us to get there?
I mean, if you could and would just sail right now, you'd be there in a day and a half, 2 days.
Okay,
You're not that far away.
I'll say like within the week. Within the week. I can't wait to see you again.
Okay. You send off your message, and there's no immediate response.
She's not. She must be asleep at the moment.
Is that what we call it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just sort of like sit there for a bit, waiting for a response. When nothing comes, I'm gonna be like, well, she must be asleep or something. I guess I'll just wait, and I'll put it back in my bag. I'm gonna walk over to the captain because I'm assuming the captain, he was doing his thing, but since he's in the cabin and whatnot, I wanted to like go over there because like he kind of went away from everyone. I'm curious what he was doing.
You go, and as you go to knock on the door, Varan does finally respond.
Awkward.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna like no, and then okay, I'll like immediately like go up to that like outside the front of Noxiqual's cabin, like and start listening to what Varan says.
Okay. Oh, my love, I was tied up at the moment, but I'm so glad that you're fine, and I can't wait to see you. Oh, I can't believe you're gonna be here soon. Yeah,
then he gets off again. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, she still doesn't understand that it's only 25 words. All right, I'm gonna go back to knock on the door. Captain, what have you been up to in there? You kind of left everyone with with 4 unconscious bodies. I'm interested in what's going on in there.
Esper.
Is there blood seeping from under your door?
That's a good question.
I mean, I feel like he'd have some ritual like thing that he would have cut their throats into, but you know, yeah, I suppose there might
Yeah, okay, a basin.
Yeah, a basin would be good. Cleaner.
Maybe a trough is what you need with that many throats.
Yeah,
No, just
I feel
bucket,
like there's
just a metal bucket.
Okay, well, I don't think that would have blood spilling out into the hallway then.
No.
Okay, good.
All right, so yeah, there's a knock at your door, and you hear Robin.
Captain, what's going on? There were 4 people that went dead, and you sort of took them. Are you interrogating them or something?
Quick question, Esper. Is this after?
I would assume it's after what you did, yeah.
Sure, after.
Just making sure where this is in the continuity.
I was assuming it was after, yeah. So.
Okay. At first, there's no response, and then finally, Captain Noxiqual comes to the door, and he will open it a crack, so you can just see like the darkness of the room. Like there's one candle in there, first off, so it's really shadowy,
Yeah.
and you just see like his half-shadowed face. He's like, "What do you want, Robin? I'm very busy right now."
What are you busy with? I'm trying to like look through. Is everything all right? Are they?
I am
Hello?
dealing with matters that you don't need to concern yourself with. Have you done what I ordered and collected all the loot?
Oh, that. I can. I'm still looking at. I can do that in a minute. I'm just curious what's going on in here. I felt like those four might have more loot than the rest of them.
I promise you, the bodies will be returned to the deck shortly.
The bodies. Did you kill these four people? I mean, I'm not saying I'm
Robin.
against it, but what's
Robin, you should go back up on deck. I will be there shortly.
You'd be like, wow, you're more gloomy than you usually are, Captain. I was gonna walk away.
I'm tired and I need my rest. A short rest at the very least.
Yes, a short rest would be in order. I'm feeling a bit weaker myself after all that chaotic stuff. Did you know that tentacles grabbed me today? It was quite an experience. I've never had tentacles grab me before. I don't know how I felt about it.
I saw some spells going off. I did not have time to. But you can tell these tales to me later tonight once we're underway.
Very well, very well. Well, I'm going
We'll share
to
a drink, Robin.
We'll share. Oh, Captain. Oh, I'm so
shut
happy.
the door.
Yeah, sorry. I was just gonna stand there for a minute, like.
Short time later, after Robin leaves, I come up on deck and bring the bodies. I have I put them outside my quarters, and I have crewmen
Okay.
take them up on deck.
Noxiqual, make a perception check.
Sure. That's not great. Perception is trained, but not great. 6.
Okay. You pass by Carderock, who is on his way to his cabin. That was one of the most interesting experiences I've ever had. I suddenly am aware that I need to think about the eventualities of my future and perhaps what might become of my effects and my wealth should an eventuality come that I am no more.
I would see that any such effects were returned to your family. I believe you came from Hawkness or some sort.
That's my family name. Though once upon we dwelt in Rockness, the great capital of Dreckengrim, what was smitten. No, my family's estate is in Sumnerfield. Glorious gem of civilization, beacon of hope of these lands. I will entrust to, we'll say, Kobe the Lion here aboard your ship, and of course my own family, maybe a third party. It's always good to have a third party as well. Yes, such a will and testament of mine. I should have to think long and hard about this.
I'm sure
Yes,
you could,
well,
with all your wealth, hire a barrister when you return to Grenadoa who could draw up such a contract.
I'll prepare for that. And just might have to bandage a few wounds here, but I'm still in one piece after all.
I don't see you dying anytime soon.
I hope not. I've witnessed horrors, and I've seen the brink of death, yet I live.
I think we've all seen many things these past weeks. More than any man I can say that I've traveled with has seen with me together. You've seen the face of Orcus. You've seen monstrous Naga and Aegon's avatar in this realm, along with many other horrors. So
I have
you've
many
earned your rest.
a song to sing and tale to tell.
I would be
Grenadoa may
interested
be the
in
place
hearing
for that, but there are greater sights that
Will you have a drink with us tonight when we celebrate? I plan on having some sort of celebration.
Drink. I will have multiple.
Excellent. I'll see you tonight when the stars are out.
So he tromps into his room to go gather up some quill and parchment and make some notes, starting to sketch out a will and testament, or maybe a song of the trials, tribulations, and ultimate victories of the Stormbringers these past weeks. So the crew is underway making repairs. You currently do not have a bosun, so there's a lot of arguing amongst the crew, a lot of, that one goes there, that one goes there, no, and it's a little hectic. Very hectic, actually.
If needs be, I'm sure someone can step in and direct them, perhaps.
Kobe's doing what he can to herd them, though Kobe himself is not a bosun. He's not a craftsman or a repairsman. He obviously has done basic things, but he does not have the know-how for complicated maintenance.
What would the skill be for that, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, I'm curious on that as well.
You would be looking at the carpenter's tools.
Okay.
Maybe there's a more specific tool, a shipwright's tools, but it would be a tool.
So I have a question for Hellboy or Luke.
Luke, a.k.a. Hellboy.
Mm-hmm. Hellboy, tell me, was there a bosun on your ship?
There was, but he is now a charred husk.
Point him out to me. I take him to the bodies.
Here. That'll be the one there. He points out a man whose beard is half burned off.
Mm-hmm. All right. I look him over. Does he seem... Well, I'm sure I didn't kill him. Here's my question.
He seemed to have died in a fireball.
Yeah. I go over to the frozen statues, which I assume are still on the ship of
Jolly Beast?
Jolly Beast.
Sure, they're frozen right to the deck. It's cold outside, so they're not melting.
Yep. Do any of them look... we don't have anyone to question from that ship, but like maybe there's some way to identify the bosun, perhaps, where he would be on the ship?
Let's see. Just make a perception check, I would say. Seems to be, I mean, you know what? You would have a rough idea of what one might look like.
Okay. That's not going to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, you look and you see ice and pale faces in horror beneath the ice, and nothing stands out to you.
All right, I'll take a guess at someone that looks like they might be more than just an ordinary crew member there, because I did kill all these people, and I will try to pull their shade from them using my Accursed Spectre ability.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're just giving it your best guesstimate, your best guess, yeah?
Worst
all
case,
right.
I get a Spectre who may have some specialized knowledge that I can utilize.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 6.
4.
You put your hands upon one of the icy statues, aka frozen corpses, and the specter emerges from it like a deathly cloud. Oh, you have pulled me from life.
I pulled you back from death. I'm sure you are quite confused. Right.
Is this not death?
This is undeath, and I have a purpose for this. Serve me well, and I will release you when your time is done.
What a terrible thing you have done to me. It attempts to run away from you.
Stop. Return.
It obeys your your command. An invisible force compels it.
Tell me, were you the bosun of this ship?
I was not.
Do you have knowledge of how to repair such damages that were done to your ship?
You have pulled me back to ask me this.
Yes.
I know some of repairing ships, but I am no right.
I do not expect you to put your hands and physically do the labor, but you will assist. Tell these men how to best repair this ship, where the supplies are, what to do. If you complete this task, I will release you.
What sort of captain are you that commands death?
Captain Noxiqual, you did not even know who you sought to take in combat, and your captain is a fool.
My captain was the greatest that ever lived.
And there he lies. I nod my head in his direction. No more
All
is he the greatest
men
that
meet
lived.
their end, and you will meet yours one day.
But not today. And this day you serve me. Now do as I command.
The Spectre flies to the adjacent ship, your ship, Storm's Eye, and some of the men are, especially the new ones, are freaked out by this. They shout, they take cover. Some of the other men, they know about this sort of thing, and they just grit their teeth. Kobe the lion, he stands up. I'll take the questions here. I've seen this before. Just don't touch me.
Yep. Yeah, I tell him that he
Don't
is not
touch me.
allowed
I've
to...
killed your kind even. This very blade.
Yep. I say to the Spectre, you are not permitted to attack anyone here, but you will assist them with your knowledge. And then I leave him to it. Also, Kobe, tell everyone that there'll be a celebration tonight. We'll break out some of the rum and other supplies that we loot from the other ships.
You over there. Don't piss yourself. Or you'll get no rum tonight.
Good enough.
All right, so the crew continues about the repairs with this Spectre whispering to it in its deathly voice. Maybe it'll help.
Maybe. If nothing else, it'll frighten them into working faster. Right?
Yeah, this is what happens if you disobey.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a generalized roll for the crew. There's not much progress being made on repairs today.
That's fair.
Is what it is. Let's see. You're going. You and your party and some of your other crew are going through the enemy ships, hauling up plunder. Is that?
Yeah. I don't think that we necessarily load every last bit onto my ship, but I would like to move some of the more valuable pieces onto the Storm's Eye.
Okay. So, unless you all have, immediate interesting things to do right now on the ships, I suggest let's put this into a faster pace.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, there's no events that occur over the next few days as repairs are happening. There is ample food and water aboard for people to stay
There's
fed.
So few people now, and those ships were full of so many.
There we go.
Did we not want to do anything with that party? Wait
a second.
To do?
Do we have the survivors still on the ship, right? Remember all those survivors?
Well, there's not a lot of survivors. There is Luke, aka Hellboy,
no.
Survivors from the island.
From the island, remember we led the people that were trapped?
The survivors on your ship. Okay, I thought you were talking about survivors of the enemy crews.
No, okay. We had refugees.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, since I was thinking about that, let's go ahead and just give a quick roll. Sure, there were 2 stragglers hiding out below decks on the Jolly Beast. basic crewmen. They didn't get killed in the fight.
I was referring to the people from.
I know, but
Okay.
I wanted to roll that just so because that would eventually come up. Was there anyone else like down below, not fighting or hiding, or just what? They didn't happen to get killed in the struggle. So
I offer them a chance to join my crew.
You offered them the same thing you offered Luke, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they ponder that. They look at your party. They look at your sword, and they look at the specter. And they say, "Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we'll do that. Yes, don't kill us."
Kobe the Lion will tell you your roles.
Oh,
First mate, give me guff. You're giving the captain guff, and he'll hear of it.
I love Kobe. Yeah. So
okay, so there's that, and you have the survivors of Dusk Isle, people who were holed up in the shrine of Nyarlathotep. Some of them were cultists to Nyarlathotep, the Wandering King. Others were, ruffian villagers.
Were they on deck watching the fight? Out of
No.
curiosity. Okay,
They were not. No.
Yeah.
They were, the typical hiding underneath while the battle's waging above, and wondering nervously what's gonna happen.
Well, perfect. I guess we have to feed them too, but still, it's plenty of food. So.
Mm-hmm. And there's the what do you want to call it, a celebration, and you dispense with the drinks, and there's a bit of merriment after this bloody battle. Let's see, who should I pick here? Someone who has really good who has the best perception. Is it maybe Drake?
Not me.
Or Robin.
I have 0.
I think it's Drake.
It's
okay.
On passive?
So yeah, we'll go with Drake. Just in general, I'm sure you have the best perception. And also, you're not much of a party goer.
No, Drake's not.
Yeah, you're not a...
he might get like a mug, but then goes right back to his visual.
There you go. So you're also known to keep apart, and have... you like solitude. So you're the perfect candidate to hear a thing while the party is going on. Maybe you're below decks at a time, maybe in your cabin. You hear a voice from down in the hold composing a new song. Blood underwater, fireballs in the sky. Death to you, your sister and your brother. Soon enough, you gonna die. And he calls out, after his song's over, he calls out, "Not gonna share anything with me? Just one mug of ale and maybe an arm or two."
Drake's gonna look at his mug, shrugs, goes over to where he is, and
you go down into the bilge.
Into the bilge, and
right.
gives the mug of ale over.
Okay, so you go down in the dark, grimy, the dank hold at the bottom of the Storm's Eye, and you hear the rattling of a chain, and shuffling out from behind a crate is an undead goblin. "Ah, yes. Blood on the water, blood on the blade of the captain, blood in the Storm's Eye, drip, drip, drip."
Drake's gonna hold out the mug for the undead goblin. This one brings mead.
He takes the drink from you. "Did you bring me an arm or two?"
This one did not.
"Not even a finger."
This one did not.
"I'm rather hungry. Ain't found any rats down here in 2 days now."
This one will see what this one can do.
"Bring me back a nice juicy thigh."
This one shall see. And Drake's gonna head back up and find Noxiqual. They'll let him know.
Noxiqual completely forgot that Parker's in the bilge, and oh yes, of course. I think we can spare him one of these bodies. It's a celebration, perhaps a limb or two to gnaw on for a day.
Robin drunkenly from the celebration is gonna like come up to Noxiqual and be like, "Yes, it's a celebration, Captain. We should give him at least something. I mean, he deserves it, right? He's been right."
This one wonders if we can give him a bird.
Robin,
Good.
I have a very important task for you. I place a hand on your shoulder. I'm like, I need you to deliver this gift to Parkereth down in the bilge.
Wait, when you say you placed a hand on his shoulder, are you like literally placing a hand on his shoulder?
You know what? Because that sounds amazing. Yes. Like you think it's my hand, and then you look down, and it's just an arm that I'm holding.
Oh, get that away from me, Captain! That's a dead man's head. I don't need that. I'm gonna take more drink and just keep on chugging. Like, what was the favor that you needed me to do, Captain?
I need you to take this down to the bilge and give it to Parkereth.
Luke, Hellboy, where are you? Get him to do it. Luke!
I don't know that we can trust him. He doesn't know Parkereth. Parkereth doesn't know him. Parkereth knows you, and so Parkereth probably will be more comfortable if you do this.
All right, fine. But I'm bringing Luke with me. I want to introduce him. Luke, come here, Luke.
What is this all about, eh?
I'm gonna take the arm that you gave me and be like, here, Luke, I want to introduce you to someone. Come with
is some damn good rum.
Yeah,
Drake trip Luke
drunk.
just so it makes Robin have to go on
Three
his own.
sheets to the wind.
Wait, what'd you say, Drake?
Can Drake trip Luke just so Robin has to go on his own?
You trip him?
Well, yeah, he's drunk, so he like.
Well, I like have Luke with me. Like I'm like carrying. I'm like.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're doing that.
Yeah,
okay. Robin insists that he is bringing Luke with him.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Where are we going? Where are we going here?
We're meeting a good.
I know you're a pretty boy, but I'm not like that.
What was the guy's name again?
Parkereth is the undead goblin.
No, it's nothing like that. We're meeting a good friend of ours, Parkereth. I think Drake said he had a new tune or something he was singing. I heard. Come with me, or I'm gonna take him down below now.
He hesitantly follows you. He seems he's more just not wanting to piss off the captain, and refuse one of the captain's ranking members, whatever it is. He's a little unclear on this, but he just goes with you, and you go down into the cramped little dark bilge. It's wet, it's dank, it smells like something. It smells like a grave mixed with a bit of human waste and that kind of like funky dead fish smell. "'Tis an awful place. What are you doing with me down here?"
Don't worry, you get used to the smell. Parkereth, where are you, Parkereth?
There's a little rattle of a chain. The goblin pops up from behind the crate.
Parkereth,
me a feast. Oh man.
No! What is this? I didn't sign on for this.
No, don't worry, Luke. Don't worry. Parkereth, look. I'm going to wave the arm. Look, Parkereth, I got an arm for you.
Oh, you're reminding me of my old captain now.
Don't worry. No, he's nice. And I'm going to, like, push Luke, like, forward up to Parkereth.
Right into the goblin.
Yeah, he's harmless. Don't worry.
Okay. Parkereth grasps out for Luke, and Luke avoids that, swats away his little goblin grubbing fingers, and gets back. Did you let him keep his weapon, Nox?
That's a good question.
I'm not threatened by it.
Okay. He draws what looks like a rusty, broken short sword.
Right.
He like looks at the goblin. He looks at Robin. I didn't sign on for this. I'll die fighting. I have more honor than this.
I was saying, no, don't hurt Parkereth. No, Parkereth, bad Parkereth. I'm gonna like I don't know, like do
I
like
was
throw,
that close.
I say, Parkworth, here, take that. I'm gonna throw the arm like over there for him to like go get.
I can't have the whole man.
No, you cannot eat Luke. Don't worry, Luke. He's perfectly harmless. Just don't get so close next time. It's a bad idea.
Ugh, I'm not even drunk anymore.
Oh well, we can change. Here, you can have
Scared the spirits out of me. He stomps angrily up the stairs at your terrible joke. Parkereth is happily feasting upon the dead man's arm.
Oh well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Parkereth. Luke, come back!
It's not going.
I'm gonna go back up there and keep drinking. I'm gonna go up and see Noxiqual and say, Noxiqual, you should have seen his face. It was hilarious.
Noxiqual just kind of looks at you, looks over at like the sulking Hellboy, and just like, up to your old tricks, Robin. Well, I suppose you deserve a laugh after that fight, but I would do better. You'd probably sleep better if not all the crew wants you dead.
So, oh, I'll be okay. Don't worry. Luke is harmless. Luke, you're all right, aren't you?
He drinks like a whole cup of rum in one swig. So, repairs. They take a long time, and they're not great repairs. But the ship can move. You can steer it.
Drake actually wants to ask Noxiqual something off to the side.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Do it. Go ahead.
This one wonders, the captain of the Jelly Beasts. This one requests that we bury him with respect. He did die already.
I was going to burn the corpses when we returned to Grenadoa, but for the captains of the ship, I intended to cut off their heads and display them to those in the port so that they knew what became of these pirate captains who dared defy my ship.
This one understands.
Acceptable.
This
You
one
may-
understands, but was hoping we may show respect to the man who stay true.
The
to
rest of the
his-
crew, I will allow respect to be shown to their corpses. They were only following orders. These captains were the ones who sought my life and came unprovoked after me. And he thinks to himself for a moment, unprovoked may not be the best term there. But
yeah,
he doesn't say that out loud.
Drake raises an eyebrow at that.
No, I'm like, I don't say anything. I just say, like, unprovoked. Still, I suppose that we could perhaps, after the message has been sent, reunite the heads with their bodies, and you may bury them in whatever fashion you see fit.
Is
This
all to
one
the
does
side?
not care for the other captain. It's just the older one.
Oh, then yes,
Yeah.
you may have that corpse to do with what you wish.
This one just only wishes to bury him respectfully. So
As I bear great love for you, Drake, I will allow you this request.
this one thanks you, Captain.
Mm-hmm. Are you keeping the shrouded body for now?
For now, Drake's actually going to put him in the bag of holding to preserve the body.
Does that preserve the body?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But at least
does.
would just keep it
No.
away.
It won't preserve it. Does that matter to you?
It will at least keep him out of the way,
Okay.
and just so also we keep Robin leading him.
So you draw the bag over the shrouded corpse of Captain Arden Galen. It takes a good few days to get the Storm's Eye in sufficient repair that it can be steered. It's not great repair. You're like, I would not sail for very long on this. This is just a limp into port, but it'll get you there. The other two ships are still without helms.
Is there any way to? We need something on the other ships. How
You
many
could
days
tow
has
them.
it been?
I'm going to roll a D4 plus 2.
Could we
4
not
days.
tow them?
Okay, so it's been Well, we could try to tow one. I don't think we could tow both, maybe, unless.
Well, I've seen
How-
this. I'm not sure how well this is going to be up to Esper. What we could link
Chain
each
them.
one in a chain, in a line, and tow them that way.
I guess they still have sails, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
we could be the guide for them.
You roll up the sails,
Mhm.
and you link them together. So the lead one is pulling.
Mhm.
I've seen this done when I took sailing classes when we had to come back and we were running late. We all linked up to one boat, which had a power, and they towed us all back. Now we're going to kind of be all over the place.
Mhm.
But if it's only two and we're just coming into the port, I think we should be fine. Because what we could do, drop anchor for the last one, tow the first one, and come out, grab the second one, take that one.
Let me just run it by Esper. Esper,
Yeah,
will this plan work?
Okay, not Captain Noxiqual. Well, you've heard of ships being towed in before. How could you string like 3 in a row, like a little ship train? Seems like it's possible, and Lykar can help out with some winds, and there's obviously some risk involved in it, but it doesn't seem far-fetched to you.
Yeah, I think we need to go before storm or anything crazy hits, so let's try linking them.
Yeah, it's been a brutal winter thus far. There's already been 2 blizzards that have hit. So far, the weather's been holding out good. It actually has kind of come into, I'm not going to say a warm spell, but it's sunny and not horrendously cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to say that we have an opportunity. We're not that far from Grenadoa, so if we can make it to port, we can make proper repairs.
Very well. That all seems fine and well. I don't see any major difficulty of that. Also, plunder has been hauled up as well. If you'd like, we can discuss what that is. We can roll some loot tables and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I've heard that getting treasure is a thing that people enjoy. So
we enjoy your treasure especially.
No complaints? Okay.
I don't want any treasure, Esper. Nothing.
All right, you heard it here first, everyone.
All right, we have confirmed it. Robin does not want anything. No, nothing for Robin.
All right. Tell us what to do.
Okay, so first, between all the coins and gems, okay, we'll say monetary value that you haul up, between the 2 ships, you come to a total of 10,000 gold pieces worth.
Cool.
So how much do we want to split that between everyone?
Sorry, how much was it?
If you want, just I think someone has like a pool. Add it into the pool and then divvy it all up when you get to port.
Okay,
that's a way it could be done.
10K gold so far.
Okay,
yeah, I think Lykar.
Write that down and we'll split it up.
You had the pool.
Yep.
But we need to do some rolls as well. Before the rolls, maybe I should talk about things that are not randomized. Captain Arden Galen had a really nice heavy crossbow and a set of poison vials on a bandolier.
I like the poison.
Well, actually, Drake's got all that in the bag of holding. He's
I feel like Lykar can ritualize identify, if that matters.
Okay, Lykar, do you have identify?
I'm pretty sure I do. Scrolling down.
Yeah.
I know you have detect magic.
Thought he had identify.
Prestidigitation, mending, mage hand, reinforce.
It's gonna be a first level.
Mage armor, detect magic, mage hand, chaos bolt, and charm person.
Yeah, I believe identify is a wizard spell.
Okay. It might be, yeah.
I think so. Okay, so you do have detect magic, so I can at least tell you some basic stuff. And since you all are handling the things physically, some things could be obvious to you. Yeah. Okay. So the crossbow is a +1 heavy crossbow, and I'll roll, see how many vials of the poison are left over. Just 1. Okay, rolled a nat 1 on that. So 1, we'll say, what do we want to call this? Arden's poison.
deadly poison until we identify it. Yeah. I think it actually hit Drake at one point or something.
No.
No one got hit with the poison.
Lykar. No,
He didn't-
Lykar did.
Lykar did get hit with the poison. That's what it was.
Drake has caught everything but the one arrow from the ranger.
Okay, got that.
Got that. Yep.
Got it.
What else could be of note? That was on. Let's see, that was on Captain Arden Galen.
The other captain.
The other captain. Okay, he has a weapon and armor of note. This was Sovius Cadano.
Glaive. He had a glaive as well.
He has a +1 glaive, and it has something else to it. It's not just +1. It's got some other effect. He has a +1 javelin of distance, which is you can throw it. It goes farther than a regular javelin. It comes back to you when you throw it.
Mm-hmm.
He had a cloak of the manta ray,
Which I believe.
Carderock's got it.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
Carderock took it. Yep. Okay.
So
He has a potion of resist cold.
Yep.
And he has some nice armor. So you're not 100% sure on what all it's doing, but you can at least parse out of it that it's like a base 12 and then a +2 from an enchantment. So it's at least 14 AC plus your dexterity, light armor. But you
it's
think
light
it's light armor. It's a nice suit of light armor, and you think it has some other property to it. So
Okay.
equivalent stats of studded leather +2, but it's not actually studded leather. It looks like it's made out of some kind of hide of like a sea serpent or something.
Robin
okay.
needs better armor.
it is quite nice armor. Let's see. There's a +1 longbow.
+1 longbow. Okay.
All right.
What else do we have? What else do we have? There is it's a rod, and it has like a kraken or tentacle things on it. So tentacle rod. That seems to be magical of some sort. That should be everything. I'm just scrolling through all these NPCs here. There's other things that are not magic items. I don't know if you're interested in them or not. Like the Conjurer has his spell book, like a wizard's spell book. That could be worth money.
Actually, Robin might.
And then
be.
just, the non-magical gear, right? Like their armor, weapons.
Robin might actually be interested in the magic book since the spells that Robin has are wizard spells. So,
Do you dare give a tone of arcane knowledge to Robin?
he does. He's good. He's intelligent. He's smart.
Can I take a glance at this first?
It
Yeah,
does
one
indeed
of them
look like
hurt
it
himself.
indeed looks like a wizard's spell book, and it seems to be a conjurer, someone who's specialized in the school of conjuration.
Robin definitely wants to look at it as well. He's curious.
Okay. Robin, you're flipping through it. You can actually make more sense out of it than Noxiqual just by merit of your class. It has quite a few spells in there. It has... I can give you a list later if you would like. You can cast up to like first level or second level spells.
I have. Wait, let me check. I think it's second. Yeah, I only have second right now. I get third.
Okay, so
next level.
just within the realm of what you can personally cast, it has Acid Splash, Mage Hand, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Unseen Servant, Cloud of Daggers, Misty Step, and Web.
Awesome. Cool.
But there's higher level wizard spells in there too. Okay, anyone else interested in any of the other non-magical gear? Weapons, armor, personal effects, clothes?
I was going to let the regular crew take some of the non-magical, like, of their choosing. Like,
Sure.
They each get a pick,
Okay, they divvy it up. They do a draft or something. It's quality equipment.
Exactly.
All right, now let's get into some rolling. Let's let's see. Are you all just going to just pool everything together, or do I need to like somebody might have found something before someone else?
For you all, because Captain intends to be honest with his loot.
Robin, see, like as a player, I want to just like do the common thing, but Robin wouldn't. Robin wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense. It's your character.
I will say this, not to tell you how to play your character, but just as a gentle reminder of the promise that you swore to Captain Noxiqual on pain of death.
Oh, sorry. What was the exact swearing again? What did I say?
How quickly we forget.
I specifically did write down because like Robin wouldn't remember it exactly. It was something along the lines like I wouldn't betray you.
Well, Noxiqual almost killed you.
Yeah.
And you swore on pain of death that you would never betray, lie, and otherwise shenanigan him or his ship again.
That's true. Okay. So
don't let me tell you what to do. I just am reminding you what your character already knows.
That's fair. Yeah, I forgot about that.
What you could do still, though, Robin, is you could roll for what you find and then determine whether or not you're going to try and conceal it or not.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah, that's what I was
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I want to see if I can find it find something awesome first and then decide like.
Okay. Who else is scouring the ships for plunder?
Don't kill me, Captain.
Drake promises there. I don't see it.
Drake will help in the search, but he's gonna pool it with everybody else.
Okay. Lykar?
Lykar, are you interested in like you presently scouring?
Well, yeah, it's been a few days, you said, right? So he's rested. Yeah. So yeah. He'll go around and poke and cast his detect magic spell where needed.
Very nice. Okay, so why don't Lykar, you roll Arcana, and Drake and Robin roll Investigation.
I can also cast detect magic with my once per day invocation.
Ooh, nice. Investigation is not nice.
May I use Arcana?
Are you going to search for the plunder as well?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
Drake got an 18.
18. Okay.
I got a 23.
Oh. Was I on the beat, Robin?
I got a 22.
I get times 2 on my proficiency for investigation, so I'm really good at this.
But I have that -1 in intelligence, but I'm loving it because it gives me so much more.
I literally get a plus 13 to investigation.
Yeah. Expertise is awesome. What did Lykar come up with?
21.
Yeah.
21. Some good rolls here. I think Robin got the highest roll. Isn't that fitting? Yes. So roll a deep percentile, Robin.
A deep percentile?
Lykar.
Let me get my good ones. I'll use my 2 purple ones. And I rolled. Oh crap! That's not. I rolled too high. All right, one of them was a 2, and the other is a 10, so that's a 20, right? If I did that right, or is that? Well,
you got a 2 and a 10.
Yes.
12.
Okay, 12. I never remember how to do these things. I'm bad at this.
Which 12 is a fairly low roll.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Roll 2d4.
That's better. That's 5.
5 copper.
Maybe.
And they're trapped. Ah!
Not trapped, cursed. Like the bean.
Oh, I still have the bean.
What'd you come up with on the 2d4?
A 5.
A 5. Okay. You find a fine painting of Captain Sovius Kitdano with a sinister grin, his like demon arms summoning up some fell flame. Master quality work here. Easily you could sell this for 250 gold pieces. Easily, not easily could you put it into your pocket.
Yeah, I'm gonna like look at the captain and say, he has a painting of himself, Captain. I mean, it's very well done. But
Now that he's dead, it probably doubled in value.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. I'm gonna like try and like put it in my bag.
After you just told him about
Okay,
it.
moving along. All
Yeah.
right, you rolled abysmally low in your deep percentile there. So next, I think was Noxiqual in terms
It
of
was.
the results.
22 for Noxiqual, yeah.
22. Okay,
Yep.
roll deep percentile for Noxiqual.
I got a 42.
42.
Hopefully this is a good table.
You find a chest. It's probably locked, but whatever. I'm not going to worry about that. So you open up this chest, this strong chest, and inside is a set of dragon scales, and not just any dragon scales. Somebody specifically took the choicest scales off of a dragon. This could be worth quite a bit. This could be someone with the right skill could work these into a suit of armor. Let's see
good.
what color it is. Let's see
Yeah.
chromatics. We got like 5 chromatics and 5 metallics.
I
Okay,
believe
roll
so.
D10. Yeah,
Sure.
roll
You
D10.
got a table? All right.
I'm just gonna go in alphabetical
7.
order: chromatic, then metallic.
Yep.
7 is like the second metallic one. That's was that like copper maybe?
We can look it up if you
I
want.
am headed that way. It is bronze, brass, bronze, copper. Okay, they are bronze dragon scales, a choice set of them. Just eyeballing it, if you just like went to port and just sold it to some wealthy merchant straight off, you'd probably get 1,000 gold for those. But you could find a better buyer. You could, if you're so inclined, get those worked into like a suit of armor.
I think the suit of armor would be more valuable than just the.
Am I keeping
coin.
track of this as well, or is this your personal loot?
No, this is going into the party pool.
At this point, I'd say have Lykar pool everything together.
All right, guys.
Sylvis.
Bronze dragon scales.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Bronze dragon.
You said there were 2 sets or 1 set? I couldn't recall.
Well, I mean, it's a set, but
Okay.
it's enough to where you could work it into like a full body suit of armor if you wanted to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Who's next? I think Lykar got a 20.
Lykar was 21.
21. Okay, roll a deep percentile Lykar.
Okay. 70.
70.
It's pretty good.
High
I don't know.
generally good, but not always.
Mm-hmm. You find a robe. It's not a magical robe.
It's a robe.
But it's a pretty incredible looking robe. In fact, you're not sure what material this is even made out of. It has a very fey look to it. But this isn't something that would be worn by some stinking leprechaun. This is like something that a fey king would wear. It's some kind of magnificent woven pattern with intricate not figures, but intricate patterns throughout it. When the light hits it, it has an iridescent shimmer. It has this collar that goes up, kind of ridiculously high in your opinion, but high fashion can be rather ridiculous and gaudy. You don't know what this thing is worth, but it's clearly something fit for royalty.
Cool.
So that was stashed on board. And then lastly, we go to Drake.
Yeah, again, start off the
roll a D percentile.
18.
18. You find a gem. Actually, this is a magic item, and you all know what it is because you've seen them before. It's an elemental gem. It's a one-time use. You throw it, it smashes, and it summons an elemental. And that elemental will obey your commands. We're going to roll for a random elemental, right? So it's going to be like earth, air, fire, water. Roll a d4.
Okay, give me a second. Pull my d4 out. 4.
Okay, water. Very fitting, in fact. Okay, so it's like a aquamarine elemental gem. And it takes an action. You throw it within, 30 feet or something. It smashes. A water elemental comes out. It'll last for maybe an hour unless it gets killed, and it will obey your
Yeah.
commands.
If only
Could
they
come
had
in
used
handy.
that during the fight.
Yeah, it was locked away though as part of the loot.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, very fitting creature though. So hold on to that for when you really need it. That's it.
So, excellent.
Sadly, Robin rolled low. That could have been all kinds of loot there.
Shenanigans.
That's what you get. Greedy, sticky fingers.
I found a painting, Esper.
I was highly amused.
It's a good painting too.
Actually, it is a very nice painting.
Yep.
So you towed the two ships back to Grenadoa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
why don't we just have Noxiqual make one general steering check, right? So it's water vehicles, and we'll use dexterity because it does depend upon your actual manual maneuvering.
Makes sense. I'll roll first, and then we'll go from there. It is so I don't have water vehicles. I have navigator's tools, or I can use a base like intelligence if you want.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you're proficient with water vehicles, at least this kind of ship. So apply your proficiency bonus to it.
Yep. Proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
That's going to be a unnatural 20.
You gingerly navigate, steer the ship. You don't come upon any mishaps. You get it into port. People are gawking at these three ships tethered together coming into port. Some people are recognizing them, shouting out, "That's the Bloody Mariner. That's the Jolly Beast." Stormbringers have brought in two infamous pirates of Dreckengrim. What is this?
We're bounty hunters now.
And I kind of want to make a spectacle of this as I stride to the prow of the ship where everyone watching can see, and I hold up with my hands two heads. And I just want to let that sink in, and I'm sure that will cause some stirs in the crowds.
It most certainly does. They're going to summon the Wharf Master. Let me get up my Grenadoa document here. Here we are. The Wharf Master, Lars Kesterin. Lars comes striding out. He's an older gentleman, gray beard, well-fed fellow. He's got his assistant Haskin nearby and some other, dock hands under his purview. There might be a couple of town guardsmen nearby him as well, because it's a big spectacle. A lot of people know who you are. You have a reputation of your own. Presently, technically, you don't have a bounty on your head. There are some that would argue that you should be thrown into the dungeon and sealed away for good, but
let them try.
And by law, you currently don't have a bounty on your head.
I've been very careful to.
Do these guys have a bounty on their head?
Yes, they certainly do. So let's talk about that. So Lars saunters up to you. Well, what have you brought here? A double prize.
I have taken care of some vermin that I came across on the sea who thought to challenge my ship in combat.
Oh, they challenged you, both of them together.
They did.
But you busted them, of course.
You doubt my word, you can ask any of these men who accompany me, including the survivors from their own ships.
Oh, well, who would doubt those words? But clearly, if my eyes do not betray me, you have brought indeed the heads of Sovius Cardano and Arden Galen.
Your eyes do not deceive you.
They're taking on a bit of a stench. He gives him a bit of a poke with a gloved hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks.
I can provide you with the rest of the corpses for identification if you wish, but the bodies will be dealt with of the crew. We need to properly dispose of them.
Yes, proper burials would be good, especially nowadays. Though, I suppose I have to thank you. I'd never thought I would see this day coming. He extends his hand out.
Noxiqual just is I'm wearing that grinning mask helm, but I guess I would have it up, maybe, if it goes up. And he's just grinning, the biggest shit-eating grin, as he reaches out and takes his hand.
You shake the hand of the wharf master, and they take the hands into their custody, and they draw up some documents. And I mean, these were wanted pirates, and they certainly did have bounties on their head. And they're going to take you into a dockhouse, into his office, and he's going to count out some coins to you, and he's going to have some questions for you as well.
Of course.
So you go along with all that?
Yeah, I feel like this is necessary. I made a spectacle of this, so I'll deal with the paperwork side of things.
All right. So you get some people muttering as you walk down the quay. Kobe the Lion comes and he starts, doing the manifest with the wharf master's assistant and getting the technical stuff out of the way before your crew disembark. And people are muttering amongst themselves. Some of them actually cheer out and they say, Noxiqual and the Stormbringers, and they like it. They really liked what you've done, and it's pretty spectacular, bringing the heads of 2 notorious pirate captains.
I also have a charisma of 22 now, so supernaturally trying to impress these people.
It is super beyond the natural.
Captain, we have fans now, Captain. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful.
You do have fans, though. Who are your fans? Well, that's another subject altogether.
They all know Robin.
Yeah, they're the kind of people that they're for the Horde, and they like the villains and stuff. They're the edgy ones. So you go into the dock house and into the office of the wharf master, and he counts out some coins and gives you this big sack of gold coins. I believe they had bounties of 800 and 700 respectively. Yeah, 800 for Sovius and 700 for Arden Galen.
Recording that?
800 and 700.
So 1,500 gold coins is the fat purse that you have acquired this day. And Wharf Master Lars, he has questions for you. Where did you find them? And what's the current state? He asks a lot about Dusk Isle, because that's a dangerous place, and they don't have men right now to send there.
So now we're up to 11,500 gold.
Yeah, and just coinage.
Yeah, 11,500. Yeah.
I will explain to him that Dusk Isle has suffered a misfortune and is no longer habitable by mortal men, shall we say.
What in the 9 hells did you do?
Did I do? I like how you assume. Shall we just say that there was a supernatural threat that lurked beneath the island. Mm-hmm. These moths that arose from the depths once the tunnels had been opened up underneath the island, and they reclaimed the island. Any who they touch, their skin would slough off, and it would melt in necrosis pretty quickly thereafter. One of my own men lost his hand, and I fashioned him anew from a piece of iron that we had.
Well, leave it up to you to have knowledge of such horrors.
Oh, that is the least horror that I have dealt with in the past few weeks. But I will not bore you with such things.
Bore? Oh, no, I'm not bored at all. What are you talking about?
Oh, the things I could tell you would turn your hair white and age you so many years off your life.
I don't need to be aging any more than I already am, but...
I will say this. Dagon has suffered a great blow, shall we say, both in his mortal men who serve him and in his aspect that manifests upon the face of Dreckengrim.
You're saying that you bested Dagon.
I faced Dagon and I still live. And I know that he now has retreated to his realm under the abyss.
That will not go over well with the throat of the bay.
Who?
So you know there's a temple in Grenadoa called the Throat of the Bay, and people make sacrifices and pray to Dagon there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is between them and their old one. All I can say is that he chose to make quarrel with me, and I've repaid him for such quarrel.
When
Now
did this conflict occur?
A week ago or so. It was, I would say, within the past week. Not been long.
The mists rolled in thick and a blizzard came down.
Indeed, during that time.
I knew something strange was happening there. The Throat of the Bay was resounding with chants day and night. I feared that the mist would reach so far as the shore, but thank the light it did not.
There were many things that happened, but let's not get too bogged down into the details right now. I have killed these pirates. That is, I'm sure, your main concern. And I have need of the bay, the docks here to berth my ships and repair them as such.
Very well. Well, I can discount the docking fee out of that, and you can find repairs as you need.
Indeed.
Are we going to?
I suppose you are claiming these ships as your own now by right of conquest.
I am. Will that be a problem?
If there is any problems, then I'll send word to you.
Very good. My man Kobe can send to me magically if there's any hard time finding me.
So he actually does push some questions. I won't actually get into specific details, but I just want to get a general idea from you. How much is Noxiqual willing to tell him? Because he's going to ask you more things like, where specifically did you go besides Dusk Isle, and what happened, and where were you before that? And
I feel like I can give him an.
It's like he's wanting to get a captain's log out of you.
I can give him an abridged version of our adventures. I'm not, ashamed of like most of the stuff that we've done. So we've done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Leave out the treasure parts, though.
Yeah, I do leave out a lot of the treasure parts. I don't want to tell him about anything with the masked one. Obviously, like that is completely edited out of the stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so but you tell him about like Basilica in the Quay and Dusk Isle and the sunken shipwreck.
And the mines, Mirgraf Mines.
You talking about Mirgraf Mine? Okay.
Like we went there because I mean that's a matter of record,
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So you give him, like you said, a rather abridged version.
Yeah.
And it sounds like
out any questionable details of our own, and certain actions.
Okay. I do want to add a skill check in here just for spice and flavor and to,
charisma.
See if any further complications come out of this.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a persuasion contest? Because he has his points of, he is an authority figure and he's certainly connected to authority figures above him.
Yep. So I rolled. It's only a 15.
All right, I've got a 21. So he picks up on your abridging of certain details.
Sure.
And he is also telling you that he is concerned that the Stormbringer's activities are a potential menace, though you have not directly harmed the people of Grenadoa. You may have indirectly opened up issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what he's hinting at, and I will.
So he gets he gets Noxiqual in a position where you feel, what's the right thing you would feel? I don't know. Maybe concern that he's not going to let this just be a one-shot conversation and be done.
Okay. I will say, what exactly is your intention here? If I may cut to the chase, I have much business to attend to here in Grandoa, much wealth to share with this great city, as I've done much in the past business here.
I'm going to need two things. First, I'm going to need to have an inspection of all the cargo on board your ship. I don't know what you're bringing in. It could be contraband. It could be some more of those diseased moths. I don't know.
Of course.
But I'm quite concerned.
I've dealt with your inspectors in the past. I'm sure we can come to arrangements.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Also, I'm going to need to arrange another meeting. I will be present, as will Caitlin Weirman, antiquarian, emissary of the Silver Citadel. You all met with Caitlin Weirman. She's the one that you arranged the magic item deals.
Yep.
And she is very much connected with authority. She is emissary of the Silver Citadel. Her, how can we say this? Her practice or her trade is coordinated through the City Guard of Grenadoa. It's a very official process, and she would be the local lore keeper when it comes to things magical.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says he needs to have a meeting with you and her, and she'll be able to better understand some of the things you're talking about. And there are questions that I don't even know to ask, and she will know what to ask you.
May I ask
before you go
authority this meeting is being called?
It is upon the authority of Grenadoa, and on behalf of the Silver Citadel. I'm sure they will be quite interested in this.
Will the ruler of or guardian of Grenadoa be present in this meeting?
Will the council be there?
Yes.
I'm not sure. It just might come up. Actually, Grenadoa, technically, it is a counciled monarchy. They do have a local lord. His name is Lord Thelmo III of House Godswald. He's married to Lady Iona Mirathane. But there is a town council. It's, in this sense, is reminiscent of Ravenswold. Ravenswold. Yep, because they had like a 3 or 4 guild representatives that formed a town council. Grenadoa has that, but they have the old monarchy in place too. So Ravenswold's a little separated from that tradition. But Grenadoa has a shipwrights guild, a merchants guild, a masons guild, and a cartographers guild. So they've got a guild master from each of those 4, and they comprise a council that advises the king, and they see to certain matters of administration here. So basically what that amounts to is they're going to hear about it, and maybe the government will be present at this meeting at their discretion.
I would be delighted to speak with your officials on any such matters. But if that is not a problem, I would like to see to my ship dealing with my own internal matters that need to be dealt with.
Well, first we're going to have the inspection arranged.
Of course.
Just to make sure you're not bringing anything.
Have I ever been any problem?
Oh, Noxiqual, don't give me that shit. So, assuming that you are a man of your word and you don't have anything of great concern, we will send word about the message.
Sounds good.
Well, at least 2 rats have been slain. Let us hope that the remaining slayer does not turn out to be a worse force than them 2 combined.
You say this to my face.
People say worse behind your back.
Oh, that's true. But they're not within arm's reach.
I'd like you to make an intimidation check. If you would like to, I guess you don't have to. But this guy might actually feel kind of scared of Nox here.
I would not blame him in the slightest. Also, so I've got a 16.
Okay, he got a 16 as well. You are the what is it, like the offense, so
Attacker,
offense
which
wins.
means-
Yeah,
yeah.
the active person wins or whatever. So I'm gonna give you a little edge on that.
Yeah.
He's dealt his hand for now, and you see he's getting a little sweaty under the collar, and he doesn't push anything any farther, and he goes back to a more business and
What he's comfortable with.
formal. He goes back to a more formal
Yeah.
attitude,
Yeah.
and that basically wraps up this little exchange
yeah.
here.
Seems good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's an inspection being done on the Storm's Eye and all of the items. This is going to be a pretty long inspection.
Here's my question. What is this inspection going to do from Noxiqual's viewpoint? Are they going to confiscate anything that we found? Like, what is this entail?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Wharf Master did not put out any kind of writ of confiscation. He isn't going to the authorities on suspicion, any
just
like
wants to
good
know.
suspicion.
Yeah.
He certainly could if he wanted to. I mean, he could
Yeah.
make something up if he wanted to, but
Well,
he didn't, or at least he
I assume
hasn't yet. So it's merely
bribed people in the past.
visual. Maybe they're going to handle some of the objects, but nothing's being taken away from you.
Okay. I assume I bribed people in the past. I just wanted to know if there was anything that I suspected I would need to smooth over.
There are definitely strains of corruption, as there are in every city in existence.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah. You can certainly, pay some expediting fees.
If I don't see the need for it, my question, I guess, was more, do I think there's contraband or anything like that I have to worry about?
Well, let's think here for a second. What might you all have that could be considered contraband? There's a totem of Orcus.
But that's in a personal bag of holding. I don't think they're going to search your person.
Okay.
They definitely do want to open up bags of holdings.
Okay, then that. What is the weather like, and what time of day is it? No, because this is something I've been thinking about for a while now. That Drake's going to try to do something here.
Yep, I get you. What time of day is it? I guess.
Okay. It is morning, and another snowstorm is coming down presently.
Perfect.
It's not one of those blizzards like hit before, but it's snowing. It's full on snowing, and it's back to cold and overcast.
Drake is going to shadow step all the way up to that main temple. He's got a body to bury.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Robin also doesn't really want to be searched, so like I would assume he would know that the searching would be happening, so he'd want to try and sneak away.
Okay, Robin.
Okay, so we got two that are wanting to sneak away.
Yep.
What else?
Is
any other items that you think might be problematic?
I mean, we have a zombie goblin in my bilge.
That could be problematic.
You just close the bilge. Tell him to be quiet.
I mean, they're gonna want to search in the bilge probably.
Okay.
Can I persuade, assuming I have time to go onto my ship ahead of time, can I persuade Parkereth to be quiet, and I could cast invisibility on him?
So Parkereth looks at you and he says,
"Are you going to unchain me?"
Not at this time, Parkereth, but there are some...
It's a really loud rattle that it makes.
Yeah. No, Parkereth, I think you can...
Take me off my chain, put a hat on me, and I'll just act like I'm a normal person.
Do I trust this? Can I insight this?
Okay.
Yeah.
You can always roll insight.
I mean, he's still got personality, so if he's lying... Yeah. Unfortunately, my insight is terrible.
I'm just gonna make an assumption that I don't think he's telling the truth.
I feel like he's not telling the truth too. I say, Parkrith,
I'll be on good behavior. You just fed me well. That was a nice
Drake got an unnatural 20 on that. It's
all right, Parkrith.
Is Drake there too?
yeah. Well, he hasn't left because you haven't said anything about.
Why don't we let Warsor decide? Did Captain bring Drake with him, or was this a one-on-one chat with Parkrith?
I'm fine if Drake accompanies me. Yeah.
Very well.
Because I might need him. So, yeah, Parkrith, this is how it's going to be. Either you accept my way of doing this, as I am the captain, or I cannot allow there to be any concerns on my ship. I will have to deal with this if you are not cooperative in a more unpleasant way. I'll let his mind determine that.
All right, so you tell him that, and Drake is there at your side. And Drake, you get the hunch that Parkereth, while he is not a mindless zombie, obviously he's sentient to some degree. You do feel that his compulsion, his hunger is a pretty powerful force. Maybe you could find a way to feed him really well, and then he'll be on better behavior or less likely to have an outburst.
Captain, this one believes his hunger will drive him too much.
I see.
Certain undead have unnatural cravings that can cause severe reactions.
Indeed.
He seems to hunger for flesh.
Let's throw some bodies down here and say that's where we had to store some of them to keep them off the deck, and that way it may dissuade them from even going into the bilge.
Couldn't Parkreth also play dead because he's a corpse, right?
I mean, he is a zombie, so
Yeah.
he can lie among the corpses.
Exactly.
And I mean, first he'll feed, so he's less, hungry. Hopefully.
So you bring corpses of crew members down into the bilge.
Yep.
You let Parkereth just go willy-nilly feasting on them?
On one body, just one body.
You let him eat, you let him gnaw on one, and then you were telling him, if anyone comes down here, just lay on the ground and play dead.
Yep.
Okay. He's with a mouthful of rancid flesh. He's like,
Okay.
Because honestly, Parkrith, if you don't, they'll probably insist on you being destroyed, and that would be unfortunate for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Dreckengrim, necromancy is only allowed under one circumstance, that you are performing it under the direct supervision and authority of the Silver Citadel.
I have broken that law so many times.
Yes, you have. and part of their, I guess we'll call it a law, I suppose that's what it is that you do not tamper with souls. So
that even more.
Yeah, you've broken, shattered, you've completely destroyed that law.
And I'm going to soon even more with my soul cage.
Yeah. Hansel Gekri, the Archmage of Necromancy, he has an undead army.
Oh yeah,
but he claims it is merely flesh and bone reanimated. No souls have been tampered with at all. They're like a flesh constructs in their perspective.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm sure that's how he justifies to the rest of the world.
So, but you would be aware of this, that by law of Dreckengrim, Parkereth is very much an unregulated act of necromancy.
Okay. Well, I'm hopeful that he remembers that too.
What else might we have? Well, you didn't pirate any legitimate ships. Like, you didn't pirate that merchant vessel that was passing through.
No, we did not.
So you don't have technically any stolen items.
Nope.
I mean, you stole stuff from pirates, and maybe they stole it from people, but that's kind of convoluted, and you don't think they're going to crack down on you for that.
I was about to say, I think they can release the conquest,
Yeah, if there's
Right,
some like special item, like, oh, the Duchess's heirloom diamond necklace was stolen, decades ago, and you have it on your ship, yeah, that could cause a problem.
Well, we'll figure that out. But that's where the talking to the inspector and being like, so can we negotiate, if he finds anything.
Okay.
I'll accompany the inspector.
So inspections are well, they're preparing to inspect it. Yes, Drake and Robin have said that you want to slip away. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's just do this one at a time. You're going separately, right?
Yeah.
Or are you going together?
Doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Okay, you're going separate ways.
There's no way Robin will be able to keep up with Drake, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let's play out Drake's. Drake's portion first.
So I'm of two minds right now on how Drake can get away. The first one is just shadow step into like an alley that you can see, just to get out of line of sight. The other is to jump down on the water and water walk because he's got freedom of movement. Hit his max movement and then shadow step from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It is morning time. So,
but you said there was a storm, so that should be pretty cloudy.
There's snow. It's still bright light. I mean, just think of a morning when it's cloudy and snowing. More importantly is that there's people everywhere. So you're scouting it out, right? You're looking, you're on the deck of the ship. You see, the waves rolling in. There's a wharf. There's several docks coming out from a quay. There's people working there. There's ships, especially like, fishing boats are coming and going. There's bells ringing, tolling ships' departures and arrivals. There's dock hands. There's a lot of people gawking at your ship. There's, at the end of the quay, they're like getting preparations and their accessories together to board the ship and do an inspection. Nox might be speaking to an official of some sort. So you in your mind, you're like, oh, yeah, I jump off the deck and go running across the water. And then, maybe I find some shadow somewhere and I teleport it. Someone's going to see that.
All right. Well, the other option is get a dimension door from Lykar. But what about just a straight up shadow step through the massive shadow into an alley?
Mm-hmm. So let's see
what
what
look like it's walking past the.
Yeah, you're scouting things out. Shadows. Well, I mean, there could be shadows inside the ship. It's easily enough just to go below decks, and it could be pretty shadowy. Maybe you can crack a little porthole. They're not really portholes, but crack a window. I don't know the proper term for that.
It's a porthole.
Pardon my nautical limitations here. And okay, so you got some shadow inside the ship, and well, like under the dock, there's some shadow, but you'll be in the water.
Drake, why don't you just turn invisible? And then I'm doing it.
So Robin says, Drake's going to go to Lykar because Lykar can create a dimension.
While I'm invisible and I see Drake
there's no way for him to get off the ship without being seen.
While I'm invisible and I see Drake going over to Lykar, I'll be like, what, you can't do magic yourself, Drake? Is that you're having some difficulty?
Actually, hold on. Am I at that level where I can turn invisible in shadow?
Ooh, interesting.
I just want to see real quick. I doubt I'm high enough level there. No, yeah, I gotta be level 11 on one. But
Lykar, Drake comes up to you.
Okay.
This one is wondering if you could perhaps dimension door into the city.
Say no, Lykar. Say no.
Quiet, peon. Yeah, Lykar will help him out.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Lykar also has invisibility, does he not?
Yeah. And fly and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, Lykar's got a bunch of stuff.
You can fly invisible.
Okay, so Lykar, you've taken a glance. You've taken a gander of the port. Okay, well, you can now get 1,000 feet with your dimension door with the blessing of the Wandering King.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1,000 feet. Well, you can certainly get onto the quay, and that's like just the wharf, the side of the wharf there, and well, there's some different buildings like there's that temple, right? There's Thode of the Bay. That's down a little ways. There's the dock house. There's a couple boat yards. There's a couple shacks. What are those shacks? Oh, they're there. There's buildings beyond that are kind of, leading up to the town wall. Grenado is a castle town, right? So eventually you're going to come to a wall or a gate, and that's where you pass inside into the town proper.
Well, if you want to cast invisibility on you, and then you can go where you want, and then I'll give
this one would be grateful if you could do that.
Yeah, that'll be easy so I'll cast invisibility on him, so he goes poof.
And then it's going to do the water walk. And this one, he's going to pat Lykar on the shoulder and thanks. And skedaddle on out.
Okay, off you go.
You determine that invisibility is the best shot you have. Seems to make sense. Robin, I guess you cast it on yourself.
Yes, I am using invisibility.
Okay, and Drake
just spell magic on him.
Yeah. Right as Robin gets onto the dock, you're like, just spell.
You do have the gem of true seeing.
Where's Drake going, and where's Robin going?
Okay, so Drake is going to do my first idea of getting on the water and then going across the water. Do then shadow step from there. So get into the shadow boat, then shadow step into another shadow line.
But do you have an ultimate destination that you're heading?
He's going to the not the Deep Drinker Temple, but the other one, the bigger one that's kind of got the overarching one.
Yeah, just kind of refreshing things. You guys were here before. Yeah. There's 3 temples in Grenadoa. There's the one outside here that's Throat of the Bay. It's the cult dedicated to Dagon, aka Deep Drinker. And then inside the city, over the wall, you actually found 2 temples. There's Temple of Ages, which is a temple devoted to Dionysus, the Fury, Illis the Lantern, and Morpheus the Dreamer. There's a groundskeeper that's a half orc, kind of a brutish
that's
guy.
the one Drake's heading for.
Okay. There's also the temple, a shrine of Sortiza the Weaver. And you saw a couple there that brought a sacrifice of a heart.
Yeah, sort of heart.
One night. Yeah. That temple, it really is just a shrine, and it doesn't seem to have clergy. It doesn't look like any resident priests dwell there, which isn't a huge shock anymore, as you've learned that religion to the gods in Dreckengrim has waned in this era. All right, so you were heading towards the Temple of Ages. Is what it sounds like. Okay. So you're invisible, and you use monk prowess, and you literally walk upon the waves, and then you use some shadow step, I guess, to get over the wall at some point where you can find some manner of shadow. Probably what you have to do is up into some buttress corner and then grab, and there's no more shadow after that, and then haul yourself over, which you are the acrobatic fellow to do such a thing. And so we'll get you there in just a second. And then Robin, where are you headed?
Fairveron.
Okay.
Only without invisibility.
Are you just walking down the dock and then just waiting for some people to walk through the gate, and you walk through with them?
Yep.
Okay.
You're sneakily making sure no one sees me. I'm just going straight on in.
All right.
It's when the invisibility alarms go off.
Yeah.
This town has all this magical protection. Wait, do they?
Not that you know of. Grenadoa, it's a castle town. It's a population of, it's a little over 5,000, so it's not a big city.
Iron Golem just grabs you, kicks you off the ground.
We brought this up when we first came here because I asked because of Drake's fear of cities.
Yeah,
and you said it was just a very large town, so that was.
Yep, it's later. There's a castle, and it has its ring wall, and then there's a dense town clustered around that, and then there's a town wall around that, and then there's the wharf. So it's not a city, but it's definitely a larger town, a larger fortified town. And honestly, this is the second largest settlement in Drakengrim. Above this is Sumnerfield, which is the only real city, and it's like a small city.
Oh, that's where Card's from.
That's where Card's from. The original capital was Rockness. That was the proper city, but it got demolished. It is a ruin now after the War of Three Dooms and the Mer Queen, that whole war. So I've gone through my notes of Grenadoa. I don't see anything that would cause any problems for you two at this particular moment, slinking about invisible. So no magical alarms go off. No golems, come out of the wall and meld out of the rocks or anything. There's no disguised mage hunters in the street.
Note to self: when I make my own stronghold, have all these things.
Yeah.
Just giving a brief roll. Okay, so here's what I can say. Both of you, at some point, you notice that somebody hears you or notices you. There's somebody that catches wind that, okay, I just heard someone go by, but I didn't see anyone.
Is it possible?
And everyone's heard stories about magic and invisible and stuff. So, but they were just regular people.
If I may, Esper, I hate to be that guy, but it is snowing.
Yeah.
And they still leave footprints.
There you go. Someone sees some footprints in the snow. Something happens where at some point a person is aware that probably an invisible person just came by.
I got one counter to that.
Okay.
Drake's taking the roof again.
Excellent. Again. Okay. So there's like someone,
so maybe some snow
emptying a chamber pot out of a window, and they like hear footsteps on the roof, and they're like, what's in the frozen hell is that? But nobody's there. And someone sees Robin's footsteps, and maybe you accidentally bump into somebody. I don't know. So regular townsfolk, for what it's worth, at some point did detect you all. But that's it. Just that.
You freaked them out. Good job.
What harm could that be? Drake, you arrive at the Temple of Ages.
He is going to do whatever he needs to drop the invisibility spell on him.
Okay.
You can't. The only Lykar can do it, as far as I'm aware.
No,
you can cast a spell or attack. So yeah. I'm assuming you could do something that would break you out of your invisibility.
He's going to pretty much
you don't have to assault a person, but something that could break you out.
Yeah, he does whatever needs to break the spell.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, in my mind, I imagine you could probably like go to a wall or a tree and do some kind of like
yeah, just a bunch. That's what I was thinking. Is just like find some wall up.
And a drunk guy sees a punching wood elf in exotic robes come out of thin air. All right, so the temple here. Yes, it's a temple. It's a proper temple, though not a lot of people here. It could use some repair as well. Like there's dead leaves, bunched up on the roof in parts, and there's some lichen, and it doesn't look like they have proper upkeep at the temple. It's a pillared building, lots of columns, steeped roof architecture. It's actually somewhat reminiscent of some temples you've seen in Bazikon. It's not reminiscent of Drekken architecture.
Okay. Which does make him feel a little more ease. He is going to lower his hood and enter into the temple. He's going to try to find, if he can, a priest or monk of Dionysus. But if he can't spot one in the traditional garbs, he will find whatever priest or monk that he can.
Okay. You walk up the steps, you go inside. Upon entering, you find the actual shrine or sanctuary. There are 3 daises. One dais has a statue of Dionysus the Fury, a warrior fellow, a great, muscly, bearded one, clad in some armor. He has a great sword across his back. He has a quiver of arrows and a hunter's bow slung at his hip. He has a lightning insignia on his quiver. A right proper northern warrior in a proud stance. The next icon is of Illis the Lantern, which literally is a very ornate, it's carved of stone or marble, but an ornate large lantern. And then Morpheus is a robed man who is reclining, and he has his eyes almost shut. He's in this pleasant...
God of sleep and dreams.
Yeah, he's in a pleasant reclining state. You see one person worshiping. The person is in front of the statue of Morpheus the Dreamer. He's put some sort of resin incense into a brazier, and smoke is wafting up. And he's standing, his arms up towards the god, and he's quietly muttering prayer to himself, beseeching the god. You see two other, not temple goers, but rather men of the cloth. One is the half orc that you saw before. He's got spiky hair. He's got some little nubs of tusks, kind of a grayish skin tone, thick cloak on. It's coated with snow. So he's clearly been outside. And there's a dwarf as well who is wearing a priest's robe with a braided beard.
Drake's going to head towards them.
They are currently chatting to one another. They're not talking about anything religious. They see you approaching, and they greet you. The dwarf greets you. Hello there. Yeah. Good for you to come on such a cold day.
This one is glad he was able to come as well. This one has a request, if possible.
Yeah, I request. And
This
what
one
is it?
This one has a body that needs to be buried with honors.
A body. He obviously doesn't see a body, and he's asking.
This one has
what-
the body and a bag of holding.
What a body? What do you mean a body?
This one has fought an honorable warrior and is wishing him to be buried with respect.
The half orc raises an eyebrow. You killed a man.
In combat. In battle. Defending one's life.
And where did this battle take place?
This battle took place several days ago on the water. This ship this one was on was attacked by two others.
Well, I don't know the particulars of this battle, but I feel a bit nervous. You coming in here? I don't know. Talking about killing a man and wanting to bury him here.
This one is a follower of Dionysus, and this one saw the honor the man fought with and died with. It was just that he has the respect for burial that he deserves.
The dwarf looks very concerned and hesitant, and he's stroking his beard. The half orc says,
You've got a strange dialect. Where are you from?
This one is from Bazagon.
Bazagon. How? I've never met anyone from the great city.
This one
How
is not
did you get yourself here?
This one came on a ship that barely, and this one has barely survived food coming through the mist.
Bazagonian came in on a ship, he says.
The ship is no longer afloat. It was sunk by the deep drinker.
The dwarven priest looks at you and he says, Where have you got this body?
Draker said he got it from the battle. I'm not sure how
Where are you holding the body?
Drake is going to pull up the bag of holding.
You've got a dead man right in here.
This one did not wish that for anyone to disrespect the body any more than this one has already had to do.
Who is he?
I do not think I have the name written down. Captain
Ardingalen.
Captain Ardingale.
Well, if the dwarf was drinking something, he'd probably spit out his drink.
Captain Ardingalen? The pirate captain?
Drake just nods his head.
Who are you?
This one is Drake Fell.
Drake Fell. Should I know of ye?
This one does not believe so. This one serves under Captain Noxiqual, if that means anything.
So they find it confusing, worrisome, and at the same time shocking and awe-inspiring that a wood elf from the nation of Bazagon has suddenly appeared and has the body of a long time infamous pirate captain. So they're befuddled, very befuddled. The half orc says,
Let's take a look at the body. Not in here.
This one understands.
Can we see?
This one shall.
So they take you to the front steps, the wide steps, stone steps leading up to the temple, and they ask you to show them the corpse.
Drake will pull the captain's body out and show him the corpse.
So you pull out a very disgusting thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's a stiff, headless corpse.
Oh, that's right. Wait, no, wait. I thought Knoxville let him keep the body intact.
So here's the thing. You went here right away.
I forgot to grab the head.
I had the head, which I needed for identification, so we get our bounties paid.
You don't have the head of his body.
I was planning on bringing the head back and basically,
the authorities took the head.
The authorities took the heads. Yeah. But Drake does have his weapons and poisons on him because no one actually technically got those because he put the body into the bag of holding.
I'm just imagining like Knoxville coming back to the ship with the heads. Like, where's Drake? Oh God.
So I got to tell you, it's a disgusting thing that you pull out, Drake. It's bloated. It is awfully stinky. Green and gray and purple all over. It's what you'd expect for like a 4-day-old body to be. Yeah.
Drake is wincing at it. Realizing how bad this looks.
This is not how it looked when I put it in the bag.
The dwarf is like wringing his beard and like plugging his nose, and he looks like he's about ready to just lose it, just out of sheer shock, really, of anything. The half orc, he runs inside the temple screaming. Oh, no! Look here, we don't want any trouble. We're on hard times as it is.
This one is willing to pay for this honorable man's cat, a burial.
So calmly, like, I'll pay for it.
So are you saying you're producing the weapon of Ardingalen?
At least the sword and the poison.
Okay. So you do show him the weapons of Ardingalen, which that makes a pretty good case there. And it takes some calming down of the dwarf, but he does come to believe you. He also then goes on to lecture you and scold you about the way things are done here in Dreckengrim and really in civilization in general. And there's a nice little moment, I imagine, where Drake, who's probably quite unfamiliar with social graces,
he just has an eyebrow raise as he's listening to this, and when he finally gets an award in, he goes, "This one is from the Sunderwave Temple. This one has never truly been in 2 towns before."
The Sunderwave Temple. I've heard of the Sunderwave Temple, yeah. But long has it been since any pilgrims came from that place. What with the mists and all.
This one is left for reasons we would wish not to discuss at this time, if possible.
Bad news all around.
Yeah, this one does agree, but this one is hoping perhaps later, after he's going to motion his hands to the body is taken care of, then this one will...
Let's get this thing buried now, yeah?
This one shall help in any way.
Don't take that inside. Take it around back.
Drake will ramp the body up and take it around back.
The dwarf goes grumbling inside, and he's shouting,
Bristlebar, get the spades.
Oh my god.
So they get to grave digging. The dwarf hands you one of the spades.
Drake takes it. He knows what is coming.
The dwarf continues to lecture you the entire time. He has a name, by the way. What is his name?
Yeah, can I get that name?
His name is Jarlan Stonehound.
Okay, give me a second.
So Jarlan continues to lecture you the whole time. He also says that they're going to need to write a letter to the Stonehound.
Okay.
Yeah. He says they're going to need to write a letter to the town council, and he's going to document everything here, and they're going to sign it, and you need to sign this, and you're probably going to get questioned.
And I better hope everything you're telling me is true. I don't want any shites coming down on our heads for this.
This one is telling the truth.
So the body of Captain Arden Galen is laid to rest in a fashion.
Without his head.
In a way, at least.
Yeah.
When the body, the shroud, I guess the shroud is on it, so at least there's that. When it's down and it's the ground is laid, the soil is laid back over, and they just stick a stick in the ground for now. They'll have to figure out some kind of.
Did you bring funding for a headstone?
Yes, and Drake is going to pull out. I think this is where I'm. How much would a headstone cost?
God, just a silver piece and get a fine one.
Drake is going to give them a gold, actually 2 gold.
Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, both of as an apology and to pay.
He also he does actually offer up a prayer.
Oh, Morpheus, see that this soul lays in peaceful rest. May he cause no more problems. Not now, not never again. Stay from him the terrible grasp of undeath. Let not the evil mists make of him a wicked thing. Take him into a realm, usher him to a fitting place, and have mercy upon him.
So the dwarf does what he can. This stinking pirate captain, bastard dog. So he's not like beseeching Morpheus to take him into the Ambrosia realm or anything.
Yeah,
but he's like,
Drake understands that.
One less devil in hell would be preferable. So take him to the Beastlands or something. Have him fight among the fields of Dionysus the Fury. Give him good sport. Oh. I thought it was a bad enough day just from the snow. You come dragging this nasty business in here.
This one did not mean to drag this sort of nastiness in. This one was just hoping to lay a man who died with honor to rest.
You're a very eager fellow, you are, hey?
This one does not understand that. Drake is actually confused with
you get off your ship and go rushing up to the temple to throw a body in the ground. Oh, Come with me. Come with me. Don't make me pull your ear, son.
Drake is going to go with them.
So he writes a letter explaining everything that happened, and he doesn't have really great handwriting, and he doesn't have really great spelling, but he like makes points really clear. Like the Temple of Ages had nothing to do with this. The death of this man, and we certainly hope this is all of proper doing. And he signs it. And he hands you this quill, and he's like, "Sign your name on here, elf."
Drake is going to sign as best he can. He doesn't know how to spell right.
All right, so Drake puts his scribble on there. The dwarf looks at it. I can't read that. What's your name again?
This one is Drake Fell.
Drake the Feller?
Drake Fell.
Drake fell. Drake fell from what? A cliff and busted your brain?
This one was never taught to talk the letters, just taught to speak.
Well, there's a lot of things that you weren't taught, and you better get to learning, hey?
This one does agree.
Yeah.
So, do you have other doings at the temple? You've been here for a couple hours.
He is going to go make a prayer at the shrine, at Dionysus' shrine.
Okay, so you go to the alcove of the dais, rather, right? Of Dionysus, a large pedestal, the god of battle and athleticism and storms, I'll have you know. He stands there, a hearty fellow.
Drake is going to do a pretty much a standard prayer.
Mm-hmm. You pray to your god, the Fury.
He's also going to ask for some enlightenment on what he should be doing next.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Make a religion check based on wisdom.
Okay.
And it seems like a moment that has some special gravitas to it, considering what you've done. So roll that with advantage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's even better. Let's say 21.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you say your prayer. Perhaps add some incense into the brazier. You've paid an offering to the temple, so you can certainly get a nice big handful of whatever, juniper and myrrh, and the smoke wafts around you. And for a moment, you see an image in the smoke of like a great shouting warrior, and he's like throwing bolts down from the clouds. And there is a voice that booms through the temple. It rumbles out like a crash of thunder. Why do you give a hard time to Drake? He did what he was supposed to do. Stop messing with him. And Drake, learn some manners, damn it. The very few temple goers that are there, their eyes grow wide and they begin proclaiming the glory of Dionysus. Bristlebore, the half orc, he basically has the same reaction. The dwarf just kind of, he's like, whoa! I didn't mean it. What? Yeah. What do you expect of me? What do you want? And he kind of starts going self-defensive, I'm the only one taking care of this damn place. Bristlebore is drunk half the time, and why didn't you tell me that before this guy came in here? Damn you, Dionysus! He's one of those priests that he's like the old grumbly yeah,
the old guy
resents that he took the cloth. Seems to have words with the god, and the god does reply to that, and he says, "Stop your grumbling!" And the dwarf falls on his ass. And this is just the statue, just a booming sound from the statue. There's no animation here, and there's just a final word, and you feel strength running through you. You've done well, Drake. Don't worry about these whiners. You've gained inspiration from that.
Ooh, nice.
Use it on an attack roll, preferably.
I will.
But you can use it for anything, but
Yeah.
Diagnosis hopes it's an attack roll.
All right.
Maybe an athletics
I
check.
guess this will probably be a place to end for Drake because he's just gonna.
Yeah,
slowly make his
we're
way
kind
back.
of getting low on time here. So
Yeah, sorry for taking up so
No, it's
much.
okay. Robin returns to Fair Veron. So I might actually save this scene for next time. That way we can play it out because I don't want to rush the
I
Fair
was about to
Veron
say
scene.
you've got like about 6 minutes ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's fun.
So she greets you. She throws her arms around you. She was staying at the brothel, but you you gave her a stipend or something, right?
I gave her a decent amount actually, where she wouldn't have to like work for like weeks.
Yes, and you got her a ring as well.
Yes.
And she promised that she would stay true to only you.
Yeah. Is she?
Well, her room is tidy, and she's the only one in there, so it doesn't look strange. It looks rather nice. It smells good. She put some kind of oils on or something, and she throws her arms around you, and she's like, showering Robin with kisses, like, whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? And she like kind of backs up, pointing to a scorched kiss mark on your cheek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah. Before I go into the roleplay, I was debating between using disguise self to like make it not be there, but I felt like I felt like I should be honest about this. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna sort of like, put my head down and be like, trust me on this. It's not what you think. So I kind of have these special powers that were given to me by a supernatural entity, and they kissed me on the cheek, and I can't really stop someone that powerful, unfortunately.
Who? What are you talking about?
Are you sure you want to know who she is?
Who is that bitch?
I'm gonna say, Messiah.
Who is that?
I'm like Robin is kind of stumbling over his words at the moment because he doesn't know exactly how to explain.
Is that burned on? She branded you? What?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hands up and be like, I didn't want her to kiss me, but she did it. It was basically, I was over the campfire one night, and this devil came out and literally kissed me on the cheek, and I couldn't stop her because I didn't really want to die. But trust me, we're not in a relationship or anything. I promise.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm telling the truth. Oh man. Okay, I think I have expertise.
You're doing the worst thing you possibly could.
Yeah.
That's the truth. In Robin's case.
Let me see.
This is literally a no-win situation for Robin.
Nat one.
Will we see the end of Robin here?
17.
What do you got?
A 17.
17. She storms out of the room. I don't want to know what else she burnt on you.
As she's like running out of the room, let me think. Hold on. I gotta think fast. Oh man. I was expecting my persuasion to work there. I'm going to like sort of grab her hand and like pull her back and then like kiss her on the lips as like and do it like as like best as I can. Like if I need to roll like a performance check here, I will. Like I want this to be like perfect, and then like get on my knees like in front of her afterwards, like grab her hands and say, "Trust me, my love. It's nothing. I didn't even want it to happen. You're the only one for me, and I was expecting to marry you."
So, Robin insists and persists and tries his heart out here. So what I gather from that is you expressed to her that it was only a kiss on your cheek and it was not something that you asked for, and it was from a devil, a powerful devil.
Yeah.
Who
I'm
you
telling
also have some powers from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I tell her the truth. Yeah.
So this is going to be a high risk, high reward second attempt.
Okay.
And you can roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Let me find my dice. Which dice do I want to use? I want to use my purple dice. That's better. Okay, that was a 13 plus 8, 21. That is a 25, Esper.
Fail.
It was only a kiss on your cheek.
Yes, I'm going to look up, like, I'm on my knees looking up and say, yes, it was only a kiss on the cheek, and I didn't even want it.
She pulls you back into the room. Assuming you don't resist that.
Oh, yeah. It's like, no, Veron, no.
Like she's like standing you up and like marches you into the room, and she like puts her hands like, show me. Take off your clothes. Show me.
Right now. All right.
She wants you to prove that you have no other lip brandings anywhere else.
Now, if I remember correctly, I don't. I don't think I have anything else on me. Yeah, as far as I remember.
Nothing else happened.
I'm going to take off. I guess I'll just start taking off my clothes very carefully. And I'm not, I just want to point this out. I look very good. I have a charisma of 18. I have to point that out. So yeah, I'm going to take off all my clothes. And once I get down to like, just like my underwear, I'm going to look and be like, ask if like she really wants me to like keep going like at this moment.
All of it. Go now.
All right.
If you have nothing to hide, then you'll show.
I take it
This
all.
is where she humiliates you by grabbing your clothes and throwing them out the window.
Yeah, all right. Finish taking all of it off.
Okay,
Yeah.
you disrobe, and she scrutinizes over. There's actually a laugh from the corner of the room. A raven. Eartho can't hold it in anymore, and he starts laughing. What is that?
Eartho, what are you doing in here? Sorry, Veron, it's my pet. It's a raven. Why are you in here? Show yourself.
Eartho appears. He comes out of invisibility, and he perches, up on a stand.
Don't worry. Master didn't do anything else. Just gave him a little reminder.
Yeah, Eartho,
Whoa. Actually, mistress. You have a mistress?
I'm gonna like put my hand on my face. I'm gonna look at Earthal like with like evil eyes, like I'm going to like
Is this a devil raven?
I'm going to look and say, yes, this is my pet's Earthal raven, and yes, it's a mistress, but like I said, it's a patron of mine.
Did Captain Noxiqual get you into this? He does these sorts of things. He does black magic.
Yes, I know the captain does some of those things, and he was slightly involved, but it was not entirely his doing. I did take the power upon myself, but I thought that I could use it to do good in the world.
You're so stupid.
I'm just gonna.
But she does not walk out of the room. She does like this stomping foot huff thing. She's like, I don't know why I love you so much, you idiot. And she actually kisses you.
All right, I'm gonna sort of like as she's saying I'm stupid, I'm gonna like be looking down, but when she kisses me, my eyes are gonna widen and sort of start kissing back. And then like after we finish kissing, I'm gonna say, I love you too, Veron. And I'm sorry, I don't always make the best decisions in the world, but my love for you is true.
So she expresses her love back, and it's very much the love-hate thing where she's like hitting you and slapping you, but like she also is overwhelmed with joy to see you again and that you're still alive.
It's been like a week or so, right? It's been a while.
So she's just like beating on Robbie, like, why is she trying?
Yeah,
she's like, I thought you were gonna die. I thought you like went crazy or got imprisoned, and you made deals with the devil, and you have a devil raven with you, and your captain is a madman, and all of that. She wails on you for all of that.
I'm sorry, but do you mind if I put my clothes back on, or?
No, and then she disrobes herself too, and I think we know what happens now.
Yes. Very nice.
So in the afterglow, you're cuddling and stuff, and she's like, "Were you serious about marrying me?"
I'm gonna sort of like, as we're cuddling and I'm behind her, I'm gonna be like, I think I am, Varan. I've never really found myself the kind of man to settle down before, but you are someone that I have learned to care about, and I do care about you, and I want to be with you.
Nobody has made me more mad or more sick with worry in my whole life. I've never been so angry at anyone, but I can't imagine ever living without you.
Oh, golly.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of like send the sentiment back and give her a kiss like on her cheek, and while we're cuddling. And yeah, I'm gonna like sort of get out of bed and sort of
So
like
she's like, please, yes, I'll marry you because I couldn't live my life without you, even though you drive me crazy. And also, you charm her a lot. I don't know how else to phrase that. Your seductive powers overwhelm her. And you have a lot of money too. That also is always a plus.
I have a lot of money, yeah.
I was trying not to ruin the scene, but why do I love you? It's because he pays her like so much money.
I actually have like $13,000 or
That
gold.
was that was the foundation of your relationship beginnings. You just gave her lots and lots of money.
Humans are complicated, multi-layered individuals. And so there's like
no, she's just gold digging.
There's the part of Faveron's heart that truly is enamored with Robin. There's the other part that is like seduced by his charm and elven good looks and his wealth.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
those things are not mutually exclusive.
I'm gonna get out of bed though, and I'm gonna sort of like rub my hands through her hair a bit as she's laying there, and give her another kiss on the cheek and say, "I'll be back in a few hours. I need to go talk."
You just got here.
I'm gonna say, "Trust me, I need to discuss something with my captain. I'll be back."
Can I go with you? I'm gonna be your wife.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about it for a second and say, I don't know if you really want to meet Captain Noxiqual. He's not the most friendly of fellows.
Well, I think I'm going to need to go here pretty quick. So
that is a great stopping point for the night. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us. This has been quite the session, and it's only to be continued from here. There's a lot of threads and plots and ideas, and there'll be some pretty cool stuff to come. So I'll pause the session or the campaign there. We'll get things rolling again here in 2 weeks. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, and thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Yeah, bye-bye.